We'd also like to remind officials and table workers to make sure they officials sign the bounty at the end of the bout before they do the score finish.
Sorry you had to cancel the basketball game tonight, man.
I think it all worked out better. We won't have as big a layoff between our last game and our tournament game.
Right.
This is Rick Phillips with GTVR.net. We are now going to start our wrestling sectionals matches. Chuck Hale's here. We're going to put him on. Chuck, you want to sit down here? Or do you want to sit up here? Okay, we're going to get the microphone. Lee's got the longer microphone there. Yeah. We're still getting ready with everything, but we do want everybody to get as much of the broadcast as possible. We've already had a match with an East Clinton wrestler. Again, this is Rick Phillips with Lee Hindy and Chuck Hale, and I guess Coach Hrabak is on his way. He is still en route, trying to slosh through this weather that we've been having here. We have two matches that are going on currently. In this case, neither one of the matches is East Clinton. Did we have a match already with an East Clinton wrestler? What was the results of that?
Noah Morgan got beat first round.
All right. Lee must be paid by the hour.
All right, good evening, wrestling fans. Sorry for the delay. We're coming to you live from the sectional tournament at Blanchester High School. We've had one East Clinton wrestler wrestle so far. Nate Morgan wrestled a wrestler from Deer Park and unfortunately got beat in the first round. So right now we are 0-1 for the tournament. Waiting for our next wrestler.
All right, I think we've got a second mic working here. Okay.
All right, and it looks like our next wrestler will be Cameron Block at 145. And Cameron is on deck. Just to set the scene for you, there are three mats here at Blanchester. Mat 1, 2, and 3. And again, we've got 17 teams here today. I'll give you a quick rundown. Bethel Tate, Blanchester, Cincinnati Country Day, Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, Claremont Northeastern, Deer Park, your own East Clinton Astros, the Hillcrest Academy, Lockland, Madeira, Marymount, North College Hill, Purcell Marion, Reading, Roger Bacon, Summit Country Day, and Williamsburg. So those are the 17 teams represented here at the Southwest District sectional tournament at Blanchester. And again, Cameron Block coming up here at 145. Cameron is 19-19 on the year. And Cameron is a sophomore. All right, so again, still waiting on Block to come up. He is on deck. And again, he will be the next East Clinton wrestler.
We need a bracket?
It helps. I'd like to know who we're going to wrestle. But again, today representing East Clinton, again, we've got Block, as I said, at 145. Chuck Erdman will be wrestling at 152. In the 160 class, Zach Hrabak. 170. East Clinton does not have a wrestler. 182 will be Cameron Klein. 195, Nate Morgan. And 220, Peyton Vest rounds out the East Clinton lineup.
Number 1, number 25 pounds, Liam Garrett, Roger Bennett, and Trevor Andrews, and Jim Hart, number 1. On deck, number 1, 152 pounds, Andre Wright, of Hillcrest Academy. Chuck Erdman, Lee Spartan, that is on deck on number 1.
Okay, and Charles Erdman's just been called on deck, so again, they're rolling right through the weight classes here. Again, going to be some buys here in the first round, so this first round will move rather quickly. So it looks like we've got Reading and Williamsburg wrestling right now on mat 2. And on mat number 3, right in front of us, we have Reading and it looks like Roger Bacon.
And I've been told that we will get brackets here very shortly.
Okay, that's great. Again, we're kind of flying blind at the moment. We don't have any brackets to tell us who we're wrestling, but so we can just call them out as we see them until we get a bracket. But again, this sectional tournament represents the first stage of the state wrestling tournament. A wrestler finishes in the first 4 here in the top 4. They qualify for the district tournament. And this year that's going to happen at the Hobart Arena in Troy, Ohio. And a top 4 finish at the district earns a wrestler a trip to Columbus to Ohio State University in the state championship. So again, East Clinton wrestlers are looking to be the first wrestler to represent East Clinton in the state tournament. And again, East Clinton has had 2 district qualifiers. Tyler Early made it as a freshman in, I believe, 8 or 9, and then last year Ben Mears was the second East Clinton wrestler to make the district tournament. And on a related note, we did find out that Josh Jones in the 106 pounds, excuse me, due to a limited number of participants, only 4 in that weight class, Josh has automatically qualified for the district tournament. So congratulations to Josh. I know that's not the way he wanted to get there, but again, he will represent East Clinton next week at the district tournament. So again, waiting for, I believe, Cameron Block to be the next East Clinton wrestler. And while we're waiting, again, we've got a Blanchester wrestler getting to wrestle on mat 2. Sorry, I don't know the name, but we'll cover as much of that match as we can while we wait on East Clinton. Actually, that looks like Dylan Houston of Blanchester, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so Bland fighting off a shot, spins around, gets a takedown. Houston kicks him. And right on the line, nice shot there, single leg. Houston pops out. And no takedown awarded, now an escape given. Now another takedown for Houston. And aggressively kicking him. Basically kicking him, what I mean is letting the opponent go to his feet, get an escape. And there it is. And Houston on the single. And there's another takedown. So already you've got 6-2 with just over a minute to go here on mat 2 with Blanchester. Okay, so we're going to pull away back to mat number 1, where looks like Charles Erdman from East Clinton will be wrestling. And he is wrestling. Let me see if we can figure it out by the uniform. Looks like I believe that is Andre Wright of Hillcrest Academy. If it is, Andre has a 9-3 record on the year. Charles has a 12-25 record. Again, Charles, a sophomore, second-year wrestler for the Astros. So they go to the line, and there's the whistle. And checking each other out, circling there. The opposite wrestler going for wrist control there. Again, Urban hanging on the head here. Urban for a high crotch. Can't finish it. The Hillcrest wrestler sprawls. And working around, and caught Charles in a headlock. Charles, but no takedown awarded. Charles squirmy there, gets out, so no points awarded. We're back on our feet. Charles dives at an ankle. No setup there, can't finish. And Hillcrest now with a front headlock trying to block him off. Okay, and so he lets him go, so we're back on our feet. We're neutral. And again, circling there, a head tie there, collar tie by both men. And Hillcrest there with a high crotch. Nice finish, but Urban fights it off. He's on his hip, trying to not give up the takedown. He's got the arm wrapped, but if Hillcrest is able to get that arm free, that'll be a takedown. Urban fighting it off, and we get a stalemate call. So good job by Charles to force the stalemate, and we're back to neutral. So back on our feet, circling there, and again, both wrestlers going for wrist control. Kind of a fake shot there by Hillcrest, a half little step-in shot. Again, both wrestlers fighting for inside control and circling, looking for their shots. And again, you've got just, some feeling out here, some general circling and some collar ties. And Japanese Wizard by Hillcrest Academy takes Charles right to his back. Nice throw there for looks like a 2-point throw is all he got. No back points awarded. So. And Charles rolls it through, trying to get to Peterson here. He's got the head, and there's a reversal. He's got it locked up. He may get a fall here. Urban's got him on his back. See if he can crank his head up and lift that head up and get the shoulders down. Again, he's got his back points. Time is starting to expire. I can't see the clock, but looks like we are not going to get a fall. But Urban will get 3 back points out of that, so let's see if we can get an angle of the scoreboard here. Unfortunately, with this mat, it's hard to see it. And I want to say 5-2. 5-2. Thank you, sir. All right, so we do have a bracket finally. And let's see if we can't confirm that this is Hillcrest Academy. Again, Urban chooses down. Hillcrest mounts. We've got a caution here. Looks like the Hillcrest wrestler not on the... Maybe a little touching him there in the down position, a little too close. Yeah, this is Andre Wright of Hillcrest Academy. So there we go. Whistle there. Urban reverses it. He's to his feet. See if he can get an escape here or a reversal. And no, drives him out of bounds. So we're going to restart here in the middle. Again, Urban down. Andre Wright of Hillcrest Academy will be on top here. And they get set. There's the whistle. Urban up on all fours. And nice reversal. He slides through. See if no reversal awarded, but he is out in front. So there's an escape. So now we're back to neutral. Both wrestlers on their feet. And again, nobody seems to be in a big hurry to take a shot here. Just kind of feeling each other out, looking for inside control or wrist control. And there's a nice attempt at a high crotch by Hillcrest. Urban sprawls, but isn't able to get away. So a quick 2, and then we're out of bounds. So we're going to reset here. Urban will be back down as we reset here. So Urban set, and Wright getting ready to mount here. Hand on the elbow, hand on the belly. There's the whistle. Urban again up on all fours. Now he's back flat. See if he can build a base here and get up to a good scoring position. He's back to his base. Wright comes out to the side, lifts the near leg. Urban goes to his hip. Now he's back in a base, and we've got locking hands on Andre Wright. So technical violation, point awarded to Urban there.
Interesting.
And it looks like we've got Urban will be back down. And our scoreboard's at the table there, Bill. We can't see it. That is mat. That's the mat right underneath us. The one behind us is mat 2. Just getting the scoreboard arrangement worked out. Our illustrious commentator Bill Hrabak just arrived, so I'm sure like a lot of you this evening, was fighting through the snow.
I got my sled going, and I got the dogs out there, and they got me through this. So
I hope you had the snow tires on. So again, we got action here. Urban's still down, reaching for that head, trying to get to Peterson again. He was able to get that earlier in the match and was able to get 3 back points out of it.
And Chuck just received a penalty point.
Yes, he did. Locking hands on. There's a roll through.
Oh, nice.
Chuck reverses it.
Wow, if he could have stayed with that arm.
Yeah, he probably could have poured him right over to his back, but it's not going to happen. But again, Urban now in position. He's got a near side cradle, but he can't lock it up. Good job by Wright to get to his feet, and we're back to neutral. So again, sorry I don't have the score for you, but again, we're back to neutral on our feet here, and this is the 3rd period. So
yeah, this is one that Charlie's got to try to get. Now, if he can punch that arm through, Chuck.
Yeah, but he's caught. He's caught. He's got. Well, let's see if he can turn into him. Maybe get his hips up. Yeah, that's not a real good position. That's right. And so that's the end of the period. And what's the call going to be? We've got no points awarded there at the end. So I apologize. That was the 2nd period. So here we begin the 3rd. And it is Andre Wright's choice. And it looks like he's going to choose top. So Urban will be in the down position.
Well, Chuck's in a scoring position to start out here. So.
Yes, he is. That's right. Again, like we talked about previously, Wright really with the, I would consider not the obvious choice there in the opposition, but again, that's what he chooses. And again, going for the far side cradle here. Urban trying to stand up, see if he can shake him off. Again, Chuck staying in his base.
Get his hands together there, Chuck.
That's right. Can't let him lock hands, and he's fighting it hard. He's to his hip, and I think he's got it locked up. So see if Chuck can break those hands there, break the lock.
Not sure he had him long enough to get exposed.
Yeah, no back points awarded there. So there's the break of the hands, and Urban tries to sit out and see if he can get a stand-up going here.
He can get some wrist control, Chuck. He'll have a chance to score a point here, but now he's got to watch for the suck back.
Yep. You can sit out, but you can't stay there, so. And again, Urban wrestling hard on the bottom, but just can't seem to get free at the moment.
Charlie's got to put something together here pretty soon.
Yes, he does. And reaching back for that head, not a good idea, but again, he did get lucky with that earlier.
He's trying to get those hands.
And he's got the cradle, and Urban breaks the lock quickly, so again, no back points awarded. Let's see if he can't reverse it.
Well, Chuck's really got to do something.
And he got driven over there with a half, but again, he turns into him and gets his shoulder off the mat, but Hillcrest does a nice job pulling him back down, and Chuck's in real trouble here getting pinned, and there's the fall. So, wow, a good close match.
Tried to roll through there, and it didn't work out
couldn't do it. Yep. And again, he was able to reverse him earlier, couldn't do it there. So, again, so looking to see who our next match will be.
I think Zach. Yeah, give him.
Okay, so again, that was Urban at 152. So far, East Clinton not off to a great start, 0-2 on the day, but again, two quality opponents there and 2 good efforts, 2 good matches.
Zach Hrabak will receive a bye at 160. So we won't see Zach until the next round.
Right.
At 170, we are not.
No wrestler at 70.
We're not scheduled at 170. And
get that out of here.
182 would be our next wrestler, so it would be Cameron Klein coming up.
Right.
Cameron has, looking at this, he has Dylan Vaught from Deer Park. Dylan's a senior, 18-7. Cameron comes in with a record of 9-11.
Right, and Dylan Vaught was 5th there last year at 182 pounds, so he's got some experience here. And so here we go, up on mat 2, we've got Klein and Vaught coming up right now. So
it's really important, Chuck, to try to get those buys when you can, because it's just a meat grinder when you got to come through all start in the bottom of the bracket and come up through, and
That's exactly right.
You got to have a little luck and a little good placement to get through it.
Well, and that's one thing that makes these first round matches so important too. That it's a long way to wrestle back to place if you lose in the first round.
Very
you
true.
You can still make it, but it's a long road, a lot of matches. So.
Yeah, and a double elimination tournament. If you get your first loss in that first round, you can be there for a while.
That's right. Okay, so here we go. Here, both men collar tie here. Cameron
tried a little
duck under. Yep, nothing there. Separate, right back to a tie. And Vaught trying to snap down and just about does it. Going for the underhook here. Vaught looks like he's trying to set up a throw, trying to get the leverage, get to Cameron's side. Cameron doing a nice job circling, not giving up that angle.
Looking for a little cement mixer action, but Cameron wasn't going to have any part of it.
That's right. And so again, we go back to the middle, and collar ties there. Wrist control, now Cameron has. Both men really fighting hard. Deer Park with an underhook, over here, under the arm and over the head.
Trying to get inside position.
And looking for a throw here. Looks like Vaught's trying to set him up for a throw. Cameron trying to keep his hips low as he can, not get thrown here.
So one thing Klein has is he's got good hip balance.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
he's a difficult kid to throw, so Vaught may find this futile effort.
That's right. And so we go out of bounds and start back in the middle. And now Klein on a Russian tie on the right arm, on Vaught's right arm. Gives up the Russian. Now we're wrestlers eyeing each other down and looking for control inside here. Just kind of
little
posturing right now. Yep. So Cameron kind of a fake shot there, goes down to one knee, and Vaught tried to throw and slipped, but Cameron did too and wasn't able to take advantage.
Jamming the head down shot.
Cameron is out in front now. Vaught's down on his knees.
He's able to use his front headlock.
And
I believe he's going to be able to score on him.
Yeah, it looks like he's got two, and there it is. There's a takedown awarded, so Klein now up 2-0.
Klein took a great advantage of a poor effort by Vaught, and let's see if he can make him pay for a few more points before the end of the period.
That's right. Looks like we've got only about 20 seconds left, so see if he can't turn him and at least get a couple back points.
Yeah, we just don't want to give up that 1 point before the end of this
That's
period.
right. In a short time situation like that, it drives your coach crazy if you give him an escape here.
Yeah.
He lets Vaught to his feet. He's got to be careful here, and there it's awarded. So he does give it up with less than 5 seconds to go.
But
he's got him picked up and takes him down with less than 5 seconds. Awarded the takedown. Nice job by Cameron Block.
Really one where he
Cameron
picked up
Klein to finish
points.
that. Yeah. I'll tell you, if that hadn't been time expired, there would have been back points on that for sure.
Yes, exactly.
But again, he did that as time expired. So
nice rally by Cameron on that.
And so we're neutral here. I think that was Vaught's choice, and both wrestlers start on their feet. So, and see if Cameron can't take another takedown. Again, Vaught is taller than Cameron, so the shots should be there for him.
I think something you brought up a good point about Vaught looking for the throws, because at the seating meeting they were talking how Vaught was behind 7-0 in the third period.
There's a nice takedown by Cameron.
And he's got
right to a half. That probably should be. I think could have been back points right there. This could be a fall. Could be there it is. So there's the first win of the tournament for East Clinton. Cameron Klein, with a nice win there in the first round. So,
and I'm not sure on the seeding on that, Chuck, but I think we saw a seed just get beat.
Yes, we did. Vaught was the 5th seed coming into today, so he got knocked off there. And again, that runs Cameron's record at 10-11 on the season.
Big win there. Puts him in a position now that he'll get to see the number 4. 5-4 should give him a reasonably good chance to win.
That's right.
And possibly get to that semifinal, which is the big thing for us.
In fact, we know his opponent is going to be Greg Abatello, I believe, from Reading.
Yep.
And Abatello is a senior, but he's 13-11 on the year.
Yeah.
And did not place there last year. So that'll be Cameron's next match here in the second round later this evening. Yeah, so again, we're waiting now for...
Yeah, that was a nice effort there, and as you talked about, I think Vaught was looking for the throw, and Cameron countered that very nicely, got him up off his feet, put him down on his back.
Yep. So waiting now for Nate Morgan at 195, be the next wrestler.
Should be coming up here.
Looks like Nate has Dan Peters from Blanchester. Now, Dan Peters, I believe,
think he's one of the higher seeds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in fact, Dan Peters is the number 1 seed at 195.
Right. 25 and 12.
25 and 12 junior, and he was second here last year.
Yeah. So that's going to be a tough one. Okay, we're going to go over to Lee, and Lee's going to pay a few bills for us here. So up to you, Lee.
Well, good to have you with us, Coach and Chuck Hale. We are brought to you today by Melvin Liquid Fertilizer on US 22 near Melvin. Actually, it's a Wilmington address, 937-584-2451. Custom agricultural application, liquid and dry fertilizers, custom agricultural chemical application, soil sampling, crop planting, seed sales. Call Paul Harris, 937-584-2451. And also the folks at MC Auto in Sabina, 11 East Washington Street, Sabina, hours Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Offer guaranteed financing. And by Charlie's Place, 416 East Washington Street. Hours are Monday through Thursday, 10 to 9, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 10. The drive-through opened today, believe it or not. And we'll see you next Thursday there for more action. And right now, back to Chuck and Coach Hrabak.
Okay, we're back to live action here, Chuck. Got Nate Morgan.
Nate Morgan and Dan Peters from Blanchester.
Dan Peters from Blanchester.
Little cross-county matchup here. And again, like we said, Peters was second here last year, qualified for the districts. But that was at 152 pounds, so
right. And he's
gained some weight over the year.
Well-constructed young man.
That's right. He's not wasting much of that weight, is he?
No, not at all.
So Nate goes for a nice shot, but Peters sprawls and spins for an easy 2. So 2-0 Peters here. Morgan trying to build to a base. Peters looks like he's going for a half here, coming out to the side, and
yeah,
looks like he's got it pretty
Nate's
deep already.
Punch this through, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think he's going to be able to get his arm clear.
Well,
maybe underneath, but Peters does a nice job catching it. He's trying to thread it through.
He's got it to his hip and his back.
Yeah, but he threaded the arm through, like I was saying.
Yeah,
there it is.
That was a nice move by Peters.
That really was. Good job catching and coming back through.
Very smooth.
So Nate's fighting here, but again, in a bad position, and unfortunately gets pinned there. So,
and we know that Blanchester is one of the top teams in the area wrestling-wise, and they're pretty solid top through bottom.
Well, and that's the number 1 seed in the tournament. So
yes.
That's a quality wrestler, no doubt about it. And sure, Dan's going to represent the county well going forward. So our next wrestler is going to be 220, and that'll be Peyton Vest. Let's look at the bracket here. Peyton Vest is going to have Mike McKinney from Reading. McKinney is a senior, and he's 25-9 on the season, and he is the number 2 seed. So
right,
we're getting some pretty rough draws here to start the tournament.
Well, that's why the season is so important, Chuck, to build your record up so that you're not in one of those situations where you're going to get one of the better kids right off the bat.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So we've got our partners in crime over here. Rick, how's everything going with you guys?
Well, everything seems to be doing very well. Obviously, we've got all kinds of things lined up for the next few days, maybe the next few weeks, with our tournament basketball coverage. We've got East Clinton girls and boys coverage. We've got a game that we had to reschedule from tonight because we were actually going to do a first in GTVR history, which was 2 broadcasts simultaneously. I was going to be over broadcasting basketball, and of course you were going to be here broadcasting wrestling. That's been postponed. We have to move the game to the 19th. So the boys basketball game, which would be seniors, senior night. Yeah, the senior night for the game is this coming 19th, which would be what day? Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesday, right. Yeah. And of course we've got another great sports show lined up at Charlie's Place this Thursday.
I want to know if Chuck has digested his Astro Burger yet.
Well, Lee, I'm trying to recover. That's a good question, and it's been rough, but I think I'm going to pull through.
Well, your arch rival Jim Vest is sitting down there in the crowd, and he seemed to be all right too.
Jim?
Yeah, he probably is. I won't take anything away from Jim.
Well, Jim's a record holder right now.
Beat me fair and square. So.
Yeah. As we go through this, from my understanding, we've already got one of our district qualifiers. Is that not right?
That's true, yeah. We talked about that earlier in the broadcast. Josh Jones at 106 is one of 4 wrestlers in that weight class, and like we said, the top 4 make it. So Josh, again, is the 3rd district qualifier in East Clinton history. So,
and for those not familiar with how this works, from sectionals they'll move on to districts, and when they get to districts, the way they're paired up is they're pre-slotted. If you finish number 1, you're going to get a number 4 out of some other section.
Exactly.
And so you want to finish as well as you can. Josh has got his ticket punched, but the higher he can get, the better matchup he's going to get next week.
Very true.
Increasing his chances to go to Columbus in March.
Very true. And again, Josh has had a rough season, but again, he's been improving every week and has really come along. And I'll tell you, Josh is scrappy. You never know what he's going to do. So never count him out of a match, that's for sure.
Now, I imagine the format we'll be rolling back to another round of the winners bracket, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 winners brackets and then be followed up by 1 round of consolation, and then that'll be it for this evening.
Okay. It's usually a pretty quick night on Friday night. They get the brackets evened out, and then things start flying pretty smoothly tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll see several Astros advance over to Kettering.
Actually, Troy.
Oh, it's at Troy.
Troy this year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was news to me too, but apparently the Division I district will be at Kettering this year, and so Division III has been moved to the Hobart Arena in Troy.
So we got to go a little bit further, but not a whole lot.
About another 40 minutes probably north.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good bus ride for the young men.
Yeah. Another Friday afternoon out of school and a long bus ride, but if it gets you to Columbus, I guess it's all worth it.
It's all worth it. That's right. I'm sure the boys will be disappointed they'll have to get out of school early for that. But,
shout out to the Astro basketball team, Chuck. They've got a 3-game winning streak, and
yeah, they do.
They've been playing pretty well down the stretch here. Their Chillicothe game was postponed tonight, but we're looking forward to them getting back there next week and challenging Chillicothe, who has a rich basketball tradition.
Yes, they do. State champions, I believe, last year or the year before. So certainly a very strong program. So we've got Vest coming up here. Again, Vest is wrestling Mike McKinney, a senior from Reading with a 25-9 record. Mike is the number 2 seed. And again, he was 4th in this weight class last year. So returning district qualifier.
And he's got
a front headlock and look for a cradle, but can't get it.
Got the head in the hole, got around.
Yeah, he did, and got a nice takedown. Peyton struggling to get back to his base.
He's trying to get an arm bar on Peyton. Peyton fought it off, but he's got a wrist.
A nice cross face, and again, McKinney really being aggressive here.
Folded up like this.
Yeah, crunch cradle or cross face cradle, and Peyton's in trouble right now. Don't see this a lot in the higher weights, but again, also it's hard to get out of. And there it is, McKinney with a quick fall. Yeah, he really is. He's pretty well put together, and he's probably a good, I would say, 3 or 4 inches taller than Peyton. So
nice sized kid, and
yeah, he is.
Chuck, you being more familiar with the wrestling down here than I, being down here for my first year, who would you say in this sectional is? Besides, we know Blanchester's tough. Who is the teams?
I would say Reading and Blanchester are always the teams to beat at this sectional. In addition, this year, dropping down from Division II will be Bethel Tate, and they're a pretty strong program, so I expect them to make some noise. Of course, East Clinton competed with them in the old SBC, and Bethel Tate, like I said, certainly showed to be a strong program in the SBC, so I expect them to play a significant role. One thing that might hurt them is the size of their lineup. I believe they only are wrestling, let's see how many weight classes.
Now we saw Bethel Tate
1, 2,
earlier in the season.
They have 10 weight classes. So
started out at the Williamsburg Invitational, and as you said, they have some nice wrestlers, some really talented guys. So, something we're going to have to really pay attention to as we go through this tournament.
Yes, and so it looks like that's the end of the first round. Like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, the first round will be quick, a lot of buys, not a lot of full lineups here at this tournament. In fact, I look, and it looks like Reading, like we said, was one of the top programs here, does have a full lineup, and they're the only team that does. Blanchester is only giving up 195, and again, like we said, they'll be another tough team to beat. North College Hill, another good program here. They're giving up only 106 and 220, so you've got quite a few teams that aren't sporting full lineups, but pretty close.
Right. The unique thing about wrestling as a sport is we'll talk about team scores as this goes on. Team scoring in a tournament is a little bit different than what we would see in a dual meet.
Yeah, that's right. And again, obviously, they do keep track of the team points, but again, at these tournaments, it's really you're getting more into. I don't want to say a focus strictly on the individual wrestlers, but again, not as much of a focus on the team score.
Right.
Obviously, if you're one of the top 2 or 3 teams, you want to win the sectional tournament, but again, a lot of programs aren't really pushing for that. They're pushing their individual wrestlers to get as far as they can in the individual tournament.
Yeah, and you see with bracket tournaments like this, and although you don't see it like you used to,
right?
I remember years ago, Cleveland Heights went to the Division I state championship right between Maple Heights and St. Ed's run, and they won the state championship with 3 state champs.
Right.
Only 3 kids that made it, and that's how it works with wrestling. Is in the tournaments, if you've got a solid 6, 7, 8 kids that can place, you've got a shot at winning sectional, district, state championships.
Very true. And I know we've mentioned before in earlier broadcasts about the Monroeville 4, several years ago. And again,
good point.
3 of those young men are now wrestling for Ohio State.
Right.
But they had 4. I want to say, what did they have? 4-time or 3 4-time state champions?
4 4-time state champs.
Yeah,
3 in the same class, and one of the Stieber boys, I'm not sure which one it was a year older than the other 3.
Right.
But that Stieber senior year, they were able to win the state championship.
That's right. And again, I think they only qualified 5 wrestlers for the tournament.
Yeah. And, if you can get 5 down there, you win 4, you got a pretty good chance.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
Yeah, and that was a rare collection of kids. Even, I don't know that St. Paris Graham, as deep as they are, and St. Ed's can honestly say they've had that kind of quality in just the number of kids they had in their program.
Right. Yeah, that's very, very true.
St. Graham's, for people that don't know about them, they are the predominant Division II program. And
yes, they are, coached by Jeff Jordan, who was a 4-time state champ in Ohio. Again, a pretty rare feat. If you recognize that name, you might know his brother Jim Jordan is the state representative, or not the state representative, the U.S. representative for that area, the Champaign County area, and parts of that part of Ohio. Excuse me.
Yeah, Jim's a good man. He works hard for the people, and the family is a wrestling family.
They certainly are. They certainly are.
They run the Jordan camps all summer, and a lot of the people I talk to say if you're going to be a decent wrestler, you want to go to the Jordan camps and learn how they do it.
That's exactly right. That's one of the most popular camps every year, and again, filled with a lot of great wrestling. For all week or all month or however long you go, you're going to get a lot of great work in at the Jordan camp, no doubt about it. And
now, Jeff's son, is it Bo?
Bo, I believe, yeah.
Now, is Bo at Ohio State this year, or is he a commit to Ohio State?
That's a good question. I know one or the other. You're right. That he's either there now or he has committed to go to Ohio State.
Yeah, so. I'd lose track of all the kids that come through there. But, oddly enough, both Jim and Jeff went to Wisconsin.
Right.
And were NCAA champions and did not go to Ohio State.
Very true. Very true.
But the Buckeyes have been able in recent years to capture a lot of the state talent and keep it here.
Well, and that's a good point. There were a lot of years there where Ohio's best wrestlers weren't going to Ohio State.
Right.
They were wrestling in the Big Ten, but again, like you said, Wisconsin or Northwestern or
Iowa.
Well, not too many guys from Ohio get to Iowa, unfortunately, but that's the goal.
Yeah.
But
if you can make it to there, if you get a call from Dan Gable, you've probably made it.
That's right. That's exactly right. But again, that's Division II. Graham is the predominant program in that division, and
of course St. Ed's has had a long run in Division I. I think in
Lakewood St. Edwards, a private Catholic school in the Cleveland area. Yep. And
built by Howard Ferguson, who passed away several years ago. And
Yep, and Howard Ferguson is a great man from everyone I've talked to, and known as a great motivator and again a great leader of young men. And
yeah.
I know very well respected by people in that area, and was a great loss. I know he died of I want to say cancer or some other disease as a young man. Unfortunately, did not get to continue as long as he certainly could have in that program.
Yeah, I'd like to put a plug in for Howard's book, which it's called The Edge.
Yes, it is. Yeah, in fact, I own a copy of The Edge myself.
And the proceeds of The Edge, Howard made sure after he had that book published that all proceeds went back to St. Edward's High School.
That's right. That's right.
And it's been a very successful seller for them, and a lot of motivational stuff from a variety of different coaches, not wrestling, just
well, that's right,
coaches.
And not just coaches. A lot of different athletes from every sport, tennis, golf, motorsports. You name it. If they're a competitor of any kind and they're successful, he sought them out and he got their input,
right,
and included it in that book. And it really is a great read for anybody interested in improving themselves or anything along those lines. It really is a great read.
Yeah, if you're a coach, I recommend it just because if you're looking for something on a particular day to motivate a young man to go out and wrestle, there's something in that book that you can pull out, and
that's for sure.
You got to pretty much be dead if you're not motivated by some of the things that you read in there.
That's right.
We during football season we were now that we're into the Winter Olympics, what we showed our kids before the Clinton Massey game is Miracle,
right,
and Herb Brooks' speech right before they played the Russians that year. What a motivational speech that he made, and those are the type of things that you look for to motivate young men and rivet them to
Certainly.
Understand that they have to capture the moment because those moments don't come along very often.
That's right. That's right. And Herb definitely hit that home in that speech, as played so dramatically on the screen by Kurt Russell.
Yeah, great job by Kurt Russell. Maybe his best job. If people don't know. If you don't know who Herb Brooks is, if you would ever look up Herb Brooks and then look at the caricature that Kurt Russell did, what a remarkable job they did.
Yeah, very similar from everything I've heard. That's very true.
Yes. Yep. But a great movie. Highly recommend it if you're looking for something to motivate anybody. Again, you've got to be pretty much emotionless if you can sit there and not feel charged up after watching that one.
That's exactly right.
But and then Division III, a little bit different than the bigger divisions. We've had a little turnover there every now and then, although Troy Christian has had a pretty nice run.
Troy Christian's had a good run, that's for sure. Again, a private school located in Troy, obviously, and
right.
And again, they've had a couple runs, a couple different brothers that we've talked about before in the past. That
right.
Those wrestling brothers a lot of times do great things, like we mentioned before.
Sure,
the Strebers at Monroeville and now at Ohio State. The Tomes at Troy Christian. Again, obviously the Jordans we mentioned at Graham.
And then, from the area I come from, Sandusky St. Mary's had the op for boys.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And there was
Jared and the others,
a whole string of them that came through that kept St. Mary's at the top for a long time.
That's right. So it looks like we're getting ready to clear the mats. We're going to start round 2 here coming up. And just to recap of round 1, we had a few losses to go with one win.
Okay, Chuck, we're going to turn it over to Lee before this round starts so he can pay a few more bills for us.
All righty, we'll be right back.
And Lee?
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Chuck. The cash machine is coming to Wilmington. Now, that's got to be good news. Now, well, they're having a big deal at Rent to Own in Wilmington, and they've got everything in the store. $22 pays till March 1st. They've got reclining sofas, rockers and recliners, bedroom suites, washer dryers, plasma TVs, and you can get 2 laptops starting at $29.99 per week, 2 tablets for $17.99 per week. The sale ends February 28th, and be sure to stop by Rent to Own in Wilmington, Ohio, and they have a 2-for-1 rental, which will match your first payment on any rental. Renton in Wilmington, Ohio. And we're getting about ready to start again. Don't forget the folks at Melvin Liquid Fertilizer, Charlie's Place, and MC Auto.
Okay, we're back, Chuck.
All right, that's right. We're back, and so it looks like our first wrestler this round is going to be Thomas Floria at 113, and he's wrestling Charles Johnson of Williamsburg. Charles was the champion last year here at 106 pounds, 29-8 on the season. He's a sophomore, so looks like Thomas is going to have his hands full.
Well, he still was only able to pull a number 2 seed, so the number one.
Yeah, the number 1 seed is Drew Fiorenza from Marymount.
Yep.
And it looks like Drew wrestled, was a district qualifier last year, maybe.
Yeah, and he was 3rd at 108 in district, so of course I didn't think we had a 108. So
Yeah, well, I take that back, Coach. If you look, he's only a freshman, so that must have been a junior high district.
Junior high, yes. Junior
just
high
not an officially recognized tournament. But, again, you've got the 113s here. Again, no 106 because the number of competitors, there will only be 106 matches tomorrow.
And we've got...
and we're just waiting to hear where Floria will be.
And one of the things, Chuck, that we see in sectionals in the early rounds is until things kind of clear out is we'll see a lot of pins.
Yes, you will. That's right. You know, again, the sectionals, like we mentioned, the first round of the state tournament, everybody qualifies. So, again, you've got kids that are first-year wrestlers. You know, again, you may have wrestlers that haven't won a match all year.
Right.
You know, you just don't know what you're going to get at the sectional.
No.
But, again, as you said, as we get into the later rounds, you're going to see the competition really increase.
And I think if you go to districts and you're watching districts, you see that happen pretty early in that tournament because as you start to get all good wrestlers into that tournament,
right?
Almost every one of them is going 6 minutes, Chuck.
That's exactly right. Yeah, a lot of those guys that were able to sneak out of sectionals, they get proven pretty quick what kind of wrestler they are at the district.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Now we had our first pin over on mat 1, so.
Yep, so here we go. Floria and Charles Johnson of Williamsburg coming to you here. Again, they're on mat 1.
Floria was a late addition to the team and was our 120 until we had injury to Anderson Venuenzi. Shout out to Anderson, had a great year this year.
Yes, he did. First-year kid, tough, hung tough all year, and unfortunately a tough way to finish the season. But I was talking to Anderson before, and I told him, I said, well, at least you're not a senior this year. And he smiled about that, and he knows he's got a chance next year to come back and you know, make a run at sectionals on his own. So he's excited about that.
It's a kid that really took to the sport. He wasn't sure he wanted to do it. We had to talk to him for weeks to get him to come out.
We talked to him last year, and he didn't end up coming out, but he did this year, and that's great. Again, Floria, like we said, you know, a late addition to the Astros team this year, but he did wrestle the full season last year, and in fact came back in time to be a league placer, and is in fact the only East Clinton wrestler to place at the league twice.
Right.
So again, 2 SCOL places for Thomas. So both wrestlers on the line, they shake hands, and we're underway. Both wrestlers down very low.
Low stance there.
Front headlock here, looks like ear-to-ear tie. And
nice snap down by the Williams.
By Johnson, yeah. And Floria, again, has got to get his head out of there, and he didn't. And Johnson spins, and there's a quick 2. So
just got to keep your head up there, Chuck.
Johnson throws in the left leg, and looks like he's trying to get a crossbody ride. He's got the left leg and going for the right arm.
Now, if Floria can fight this off long enough, we usually see a stalemate in this situation.
That's right. Again, those referees aren't going to allow them to just hang on that hip, but he's got the arm locked, and again, that's a lot of pressure. He's looking like he's going for a tilt here. Not really a pinning move, but trying to get some back points, and he gets the leg out and comes off of it.
As we talked about earlier, not as much leg wrestling as we used to see, but we're seeing it come back in some forms.
Yeah, we are. And so here's Johnson with a tilt. And looks like we're going to have some back points awarded here. It's going to be a question of how many.
I think it's going to be a 3, Chuck.
I think you're right.
He's got an arm bar.
To be awarded.
If he can get the other arm bar and lock that up, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yes,
here.
we are. But again, Floria just flat on his stomach right now. Johnson with the arm bar on the left arm, and he's circling towards his head. Floria is starting. He's on his hip now. Fights back down flat.
Nice job by Floria defensively.
That was a good job to get back flat. And again, Floria needs to get his knees up though and build his base. Let's see if he can do it.
He's got to get his arms free, Chuck.
Yeah, he really does. And Johnson now looks like he's under one arm and over the other with a chin in the shoulder.
And although it doesn't look like he's in really any apparent danger, the back points are stacking up.
Yeah, Floria has a really good bridge, and Johnson really doesn't have any pressure other than the fact he's just basically holding him down.
Right.
And so he is able to rack up back points, but again, really no threat of a pin. So at the end of the first period, I believe we've got, what would that make it, 5-0, Coach?
Probably 5-0. Well, maybe if they gave him 2 back points, we might be at 8-0.
We could be.
Well, Rick Phillips has a better angle, and he can't really see it.
It's not even good enough. That's right. So, and it looks like we've got a blood timeout. Johnson from Williamsburg has a little bit of blood. I'm not sure. He's got his back to us. We can't see what's bleeding, but the trainer is out there, and they're adjusting it, and the blood time has just been cut. So apparently Johnson has stopped bleeding. Now they just need to clean him up, and we'll continue.
Well, hopefully, the blood thing, you guys, it's been a long time since we've been on here last, Chuck, but blood time, they get a total of 5 minutes.
5 minutes, right.
And they run that time down. You run out of blood time, you're out of the match.
That's right. You forfeit the match. So Floria is down, and there's the whistle. He tries crawling away, but Johnson on him tight. It's like he's going for another arm bar, maybe.
Yeah.
Wrist reaching under, trying to get wrist control.
Floria's keeping his wrist out in front.
Good job not letting him have it. But again, Johnson quick to suck him onto his hip and
he's got the leg in.
Yep, the leg. This time the right leg over. And he's got the half. Now he jumps sides to the left side.
Oh, and he's got a wrist and a half. So
yeah,
now he's got a bar and a half, which is even worse.
Yeah, and he walks to the head. He circles, and
this could be tough.
This could be in trouble. Yep, Floria's on his back, but again, like we said, Floria does have a good bridge.
Yeah, he's
fighting it hard.
He's a pretty wiry kid here.
He sure is. But again, he looks like he's definitely going to give up 3 back points here, if not the fall. But again, we take 3 back points at this point.
Yeah, and it could be getting close to where the Williamsburg wrestler can wrestle for the tech fall, which isn't quite as many points, but
right, but pretty close. And there's the fall. So Floria does give up the pin there.
About midway through the second period.
Yep. So Johnson will advance to the semifinals, and Floria will drop down into the consolation bracket. So our next wrestler at 132 is going to be Thomas Wright. Again, Thomas had a first-round bye, and he has Danny Constantini. Constantini is from Madeira.
And Thomas, interestingly, got injured during football season, has missed everything except for our last dual meet of the year.
Yeah, Thomas is 2-0 on the season, but again, he's just had those 2 matches. Constantini is 17-15, and he's a junior. Thomas is just a freshman.
Thank you. Let's go over here and see if our boss has any words of wisdom here. Lee's over there and enjoying the wrestling match. And
I am enjoying this. This is great, great competition. It's hard to keep up with everything going on out there at one time.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing when you have 3 mats going and trying to watch all 3 matches.
Yeah, and a lot of kids that we've not seen before.
Yeah. Lee, talk a little bit about the East Clinton Sports Show on Thursday nights. How's that going for you?
Oh, it's outstanding. We have a great time. As you know from being there last night, we had an outstanding crowd. It's great to get the young people out there and get to talk to them, get kind of up close and personal with them, and find out what their future plans are, what they enjoy and what they like to do in school, and even find out who some of their favorite teachers are once in a while.
I don't think we want the answer to that.
I know that Chuck and me will be in that top 10.
Oh, absolutely. And we've had some great guests over the time. Of course, we've had co-hosts like Steve Sedini, who works with you and works with the track team. We've got a lot of great activity coming up this Thursday. I think we'll have those cheerleaders that got to go to Florida while we suffered with winter.
Yeah, they did a great job down there. Here they brought home some medals and trophies, and
ninth in the nation.
Yeah,
ninth in the nation.
Something we can all be proud of is being from East Clinton.
Yeah, Heather's done a nice job with that squad, and especially on the competitive end of it. He's got the girls looking really good right now.
Yeah. Well, who's looking good to you guys so far? I mean, there's been a lot of action already, a lot more to come, but what's looking good to you guys out there right now?
Well, as Chuck and I talked about, in the early rounds of sectionals, since everybody gets in, you've got a wide disparity in records.
Yes.
You've got some kids that are very inexperienced, might not have the greatest records. You've got some kids that have been wrestling for a long time with very good records. The first two rounds tend to clear the kids out that just aren't ready to go to district yet.
Yes.
And after that, then the wrestling is going to start getting a lot tougher.
Right.
Districts are coming up when?
That'll be next weekend, next Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, there would be the 21st and 22nd.
Right.
And as Chuck said, it'll be at Troy. And so, we're looking forward to getting some kids there this year. And, maybe getting Astro out to the state tournament.
Yes, that'd be outstanding.
Be a first.
Yep.
And I've seen some great athletes from East Clinton already participating, and I'm sure there's a lot yet to come.
Well, Coach Stalen's done a wonderful job with these guys. It's tough. People can't really comprehend starting from scratch in any athletic program, let alone wrestling.
Yeah.
Because when you take some, you have that first meeting, hey, who wants to wrestle?
Right.
A lot of the kids that don't know anything about the sport go out there and they find an entirely different world than they could have ever imagined.
That's right. Wrestling, again, is not one of the major sports, and so, like you said, most people aren't familiar with it that don't have any kind of background. And so, that was quite an experience.
And it's a great way to keep yourself in shape during off-season or for another sport.
Yeah, I think wrestling tends to be more of a Midwest sport, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The better high school wrestlers generally come from the Midwest,
right.
Especially Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Rick's putting the headphones on to see if we're talking about him.
Yeah, well, no more about Rick now.
Not
so
yet.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear any of that.
I'll tell you
His
what.
head would get too big if he found out what we were saying.
That's right. I'll tell you what, this is a great facility to hold a sectional wrestling tournament.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. For years, the Southwest Sectional had been here and then flipped to Massey, and now it's back here that Massey's up to Division II. And, like you said, Lee, this really is a great facility for this.
It's always nice when you have a balcony like this from where we're broadcasting from. If you can picture this at home, you've got stands on both sides and balconies on the ends of the basketball court, so to speak.
Right.
And it gives a great vantage point for us to be able to look down on the mats and get a pretty good view of all the wrestling matches.
Absolutely. I'll let you guys go back to your work and do your thing, and I'll chirp in once in a while, or Rick or I1 will chirp in. But great to have both of you here and doing the commentary.
Thanks,
Great.
Lee.
Thank you, Lee. So, again, waiting on Thomas Wright at 132, and Thomas is warming up. He's got his warm-ups off, and his singlets up, and he's ready to go. So he'll be the next match coming up here on mat 3.
Yeah, it looks like.
And here he is. They just called him to the mat. So.
Just called Thomas up, and I tell you, Thomas has been really excited the last few weeks. Now, just as we said, this is a great vantage point. We get,
except for this mat.
The one disadvantage is mat 3 is pretty much right under our balcony. So if you can imagine Chuck and I leaning out over this balcony, Chuck, I hope
I hope it'll hold.
I hope they built this thing
hold.
strong enough because you and me could put a lot of stress on this here. Thomas is ready to go, and
they shake hands, and here we go. So again, both wrestlers, little slight head taps, and boy, Madeira with a quick front headlock
yeah,
here.
he's got Thomas's head real tight, but Thomas fights out.
Yeah, Thomas has got to get inside control here. So they're back, they reset here, and again, now Madeira with a shot. Nice job getting out of that. So Thomas keeps coming forward.
And Thomas is in on the leg, Chuck.
Yeah, Thomas has a leg, but unfortunately they go out of bounds, so we're going to start over neutral. So both wrestlers on their feet. We go back to the middle, and there's the restart. Again, both wrestlers circling each other. Little head taps, head setups, and now both in an ear-to-ear tie. Thomas slaps at the leg. Nice shuck there by Madeira. Turns it into a
Thomas got to fend that.
Turns into a double leg, and there's a takedown by Madeira. So 2-0 Madeira, and Thomas gets out of bounds. We're going to start back in the middle.
Yeah, Constantini had a nice high crotch there in that first shot, but Thomas fended it off and almost turned it into points for him.
Yes, he did, but give Madeira credit there. He was able to hold on and turn that into something. So
Constantini's thrown in. I was attempting to throw a leg in, and
basically just riding the hip at this point, and he's got wrist control. Thomas has got to get his hand back.
He's trying to
Constantine setting up a tilt here.
Trying to get a tilt here.
Yeah, but he's got the wrist and reaching between the legs here, so basically trying to get Thomas's head on the mat so he can pull him over. Go for a nice tilt here, but loses the wrist, and again, not a lot of action so far to Thomas on the bottom. He's just kind of feeling him out, and
Thomas
tried to get a reversal and just about got one. He was able to get back out in front, but unfortunately they were out of bounds. So we're
nice effort by
here.
Thomas.
And we got 34 seconds to go here. 2-0 Madeira, and Thomas down. There's the whistle. We start again. And again, 30 seconds to go here. Thomas right down 2-0.
Thomas got work on keeping his hands out.
Yeah, he's got to work some rust off, and so Madeira going for the armbar. And now he steps out, tries to step over the head. We're out of bounds again. 14 seconds to go. We're reset again in the middle. Rights down.
Constantini had a little armbar in there and tried to turn him, but not really a threat there.
There's the whistle, and again, Thomas not really much of a first move there. Constantini, though, is driving him down in the mat, trying to get wrist control. He's got going for the half on the left side, the right side, excuse me. Now he reaches through. Thomas reaches back, but nothing there, and time expires. So 2-0, the end of the first period. And really, you know, as little as Thomas was able to get going there, he really was lucky that it's just 2-0 at this point.
Yeah, he's been pretty competitive, although, as you said, I think Thomas is really going to have to do something in the top position here. Try to even this score up.
Thomas wins the toss, defers, and Madeira chooses down. And Constantini with a nice reversal. Let's see if he can finish it, and he does. So now it's 4-0 Constantini. Constantini again with the wrist, but he's out in front. Thomas is able to grab the leg, see if he can hold it. And Constantini wisely gets back behind him, and Thomas isn't able to hold the leg.
Thomas has just not been able to establish a base long enough to get something
No, he really hasn't.
Well, now Thomas got a little rally going here.
Could have a reversal here.
He's climbing the body. Oh,
Thomas turns it into a double. This should be a reversal. And it is. 4-2 now. Thomas Wright in control.
Thomas has got a wrist. He's trying to suck it under.
Yep, continues to ride on his hip. Constantini, to his credit. Nice switch there.
Oh,
Thomas fights it off, though.
He's climbing the body. Nice counter. Thomas climbs the body, and
nice job staying on his hip. Thomas keeping tight pressure.
Yep.
Not allowing Constantini to reverse it.
Great job by Thomas there.
Yeah, good body awareness to know where he is and where his opponent was.
Constantini's been slick on the reversal, but Thomas followed him and kept him
stuck right with him. So again,
Constantini looks a little tired right here.
Yes, he does. About 35 seconds to go in the period. Constantini got to his knee, then Thomas brings him back to the mat. Constantini with another reversal, and he finishes this one. Nice switch by Constantini. You know, one thing I'm seeing out of Thomas, it looks like when he's in control, he's still laying too flat.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if I wish we had the TV crew here, it could be easier to see, but again, basically he's riding and he doesn't have much toe pressure.
And I would think that Thomas is, only wrestling 2 matches this year.
Yeah, he's going to be very rusty, no doubt.
A little rust on him. And
so we restart in the middle here. Thomas is down. There's 17 seconds to go. Constantini breaks him back to the mat and seems content right now just to ride the hip and maybe get wrist control.
Yeah.
Again, short time here, under 5 seconds to go in the period now.
Thomas is working up, but there's not enough time for anything here. And
there's the period. So 6-2, Constantini and Madeira on top here, going into the third, and it'll be Thomas's choice. And down 6-2, Thomas doesn't have much choice other than to go down, and that's what he does. So he goes ahead and gets set. Constantini waiting for the referee to tell him. Referee gives him the mount signal, and
Thomas got to put.
There's the whistle. Thomas goes to his hip. Looked like almost a sit out, but didn't quite finish it. Constantini reaches under the arm for wrist control again, and he's got it, trying to get 2-on-1. And again, Thomas has got to get that wrist free.
Trying to stack him there, but
yeah, he is. Thomas doing a nice job not letting his head go down.
Sure did. Thomas did a great job fighting that off.
Yeah, and Constantini's got a little better angle this time, though.
Yeah, he does.
If he can push that arm through, he's going to have him on his back, and he does. Thomas momentarily stacked up on his shoulders, but nice job rolling through, but Constantini catches it right away with a half.
Thomas rolls through on it.
Thomas just keeps moving, won't allow him to stay on his back. So 3 back points awarded there. So we're now at 9-2 Constantini with just over a minute to go here in the third period. We got a potentially dangerous here call. Constantini, I'm sorry, not potentially dangerous, but he calls him for punishing him with the elbow there in the power half. Yeah. So Thomas gets a free point there, but he's still going to be down, but we're going to reset in the middle here. It's 9-3.
Constantini got a little too rough with that, and they're not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah, that's that's an aggressive move, and again, sometimes guys get a little too aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Well, again, the whistle blows, and Constantini on him tight.
Oh, nice Peterson opportunity there.
He's going to reverse it, and he does.
There you go.
Nice reversal, but again, Thomas has got to make something happen. It's 9-5.
He's got a half and out. He's got the starts of a half on the right side, Chuck, if he can get a wrist with that.
Yep.
Some back points here would make this real interesting for Thomas.
Keeps moving, and again,
got to follow him, and he does.
Yeah, Thomas, nice job recovering, but again, I got to say, if Thomas isn't on his hip, that doesn't happen to begin with.
No, that's very true. He's kicking him out here, Chuck.
Yep, we're going to go neutral, so again, that's going to make it 10-5, but again, give Thomas a chance maybe to take him down right to his back, and with that double he's already hit a couple times, he might be able to do just that.
He has had a couple good shots if he can finish it.
So Constantini with an outside single dumps it off. Nice job there. So Constantini puts a stop to that quickly, and now it's 12-5. Again, Thomas has got to do something from the bottom here.
Constantini's getting to that point where he can cruise through this.
That's right. Now, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's riding both hips, not really making an attempt to get to the side. He is still working that wrist control, wrist and a half, or maybe a tilt again.
For our fans out there, if there's less than 15 seconds, you're not going to get a stalling call in this situation.
That's right, and we don't. And so 12-5, Constantini's the final. But again, for Thomas, to be the third match of the year, that's not too tough. And Constantini's a quality opponent, so I don't think we've seen the last of Thomas this tournament for sure.
Thomas, I think, is in a great position to possibly wrestle back and get out the districts, which would
for sure
keep his season going for another week.
So again, 138, Noah Morgan, but Noah lost the first round, so he'll be wrestling the next round of the consolation. So that means our next wrestler will be 145, Cameron Block. So we're going to have a couple seconds here before our next wrestler reports.
And Chuck, from my memory in the meeting, I believe 145, where Cameron's at, was one of the more loaded weight classes here.
Yeah, we look at it, and we've got, only one returning sectional placer, but some pretty decent records there.
Although Cameron's right there at 19-19.
Yep, Cameron's got a 500 record, and that puts him right about in the middle of the pack here.
you really don't want to get matched into the #1 bracket, but in this situation, the nice thing about being in #1 is if you upset them, you know you're in great shape.
That's right.
But if not, you get an idea to gear yourself and see how you are against the rest of the competition.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And we got big Jim Marsh here. Jim, how's everything going?
You know what? This is anytime you're at a wrestling match and a wrestling tournament, it's things are going pretty good. You can't complain.
Yeah, it's great to be out here tonight. How was the weather coming in, Jim?
You know what? I wouldn't have came unless I had my Jeep. You know, I feel pretty confident in my Jeep, and I'm just cruising along.
Very good, very good. Jim's taking everybody home. That's what
if you ever been in a Jeep, it's kind of tough for us big guys to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of room for everyone there. Jim, what do you think about the wrestling program this year as you've seen it grow? Doug Stalen wrestled for you over at Wilmington.
Right. The three best teams here have Jim Marsh trained coaches.
There you go.
Reading, I coached the head coach at Reading at Wilmington. Got a coach from Blanchester I coached at Wilmington, and then obviously East Clinton.
Right.
So the three best teams here are trained by Jim Marsh.
Does that make it tough for you, Jim, when you come?
You know what? It makes it really enjoyable. I sit here and I just watch and see. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, you see little things that you teach as a coach, but it's just seeing them grow into that coaching position is what makes you proud and happy. And you know, some of them you kind of wonder. Wonder if they ever get to this point. I had them in their. I don't know what those extra learning years.
They're formative infancy.
Yeah, the formative years.
Yeah.
And sometimes you wonder.
Now we see Jim Vest has about 60 kids in the Biddy program.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, they're up there every Wednesday night wrestling. You get to see these little kids running around who are they're always on their toes, and you can always tell a wrestler when they're in the hallways, or they're always on their toes because they always got to be moving. And, I can spot a wrestler from a mile away, especially if you put a basketball in their hand.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that happen. Yeah. It's an ugly sight.
Yes, it is.
Sure. See, our basketball teams won 3 straight. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to go with Chillicothe tonight, but talk about the rescheduling of that.
Well, you know what? Like I told Coach Strieber today, I said, you know what? This is probably a good thing because we don't play till the 26th of February. Right. So we had like a 13-day layoff or a 12-day layoff, which is hard, before our sectional game. And now it'll be, it'll be a 7-day, and so I think it's going to work out just fine for us.
Good. And what about the girls? What's that look like for them? Who do they have in sectionals?
Well, it looks like they ended up having Greenview, who's the #1 seed.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm proud of them. I just added a game for them today. I'm sitting there and I go to practice and they said, "Hey, Coach, do you mind if we add a team wants to play us?" Because we had a team that dropped off the schedule this year.
Right, with all the
snow conflict with schedule. And I said, "Coach, do the girls want to?" He says, "Coach, it was their idea. So, they want to play." I said, "By golly, get me on the phone. We're scheduling that game, and we're playing now." So it's exciting.
Good.
Jim,
how's this been through the winter for you compared? I mean, I earlier today said this is like being in a spring sport with baseball this winter.
Well, to be quite honest with you, in spring sports, you can get by without rescheduling a couple games.
How true?
In winter sports, no. They want them played, and right now I'm well over 1/3 of our winter season as a whole has been rescheduled. And you know what? There's just not that much time.
Right. So. Well, that's a credit to you, Jim, to be able to balance that, because I tell you, it's difficult with gym demands and all the games when you have junior high and and the girls. It really makes it tough to reschedule.
Yeah,
things.
and we got the youth programs in our gyms and in our rooms, and there's been times where we've had to, tell them, hey, we got to reschedule you. And I appreciate everybody that has worked with me, the janitors, the maintenance, the administrator, the coaches, the players, the athletes, the youth programs, because it affects all of us.
Right.
But without good communication, say, hey, here's what we're doing, here's what happened, here's what we got to do. People just, it's a good community. They just rebound and regroup, and they know we're going to play.
A shout out to our maintenance, Randy and Ben and Travis and Steve and all the other guys. They've done a great job this year. If you walk into the East Clinton building, one of the first things you notice is how clean it is.
Yeah, it's impressive. But also you look at the number of hours that place is being used.
Right.
The taxpayers really are getting their money's worth out of it, because I'm telling you what, from 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 at night, that place is occupied almost every single day, except for some Sundays, but most Sundays.
Right. So it's cooking 24/7, and every day of the week. And as you say, people pay for the facility to be used, and it most definitely is getting used. And as I say, the maintenance staff does a great job keeping up.
Yeah, that was one of my things coming in. I had coaches who wanted to get more youth programs in the building and give them opportunities so we can be closer to training them and things like that. And you know what? I was all for it, and it's just a matter of making the schedule work and working at the schedule.
Right. Looking ahead here, Jim, baseball program, we have a new baseball coach?
Have a new baseball coach. James Huff is our new baseball coach. He's been an assistant with us for 7 years. Has some professional baseball experience, has an extensive amount of AAU experience coaching. So we're happy with James and excited to see where he's going to take the program.
And then in track, of course, we've got Steve Sedini taking over there.
Yeah, you know what? Steve Sedini has been, and as well, because he coached for you in football, but he's one of those guys, he doesn't do anything halfway. Everything he does is a 100% go, and some of the things he brings to me, I'm like, wow. He's got his own website where kids can go, and every question is answered on his website. He has training films on his website already for track, and it's exciting to see young coaches use technology to help teach these kids.
Right. And we just hope that the kids take advantage of it, because I know Steve puts a lot of time into that to get it done.
And not to mention, he's got his classwork on there.
Right.
He's got math tutorials on there. He's got math fun projects on there. It's really good stuff.
Yeah. Steve's a great example of a young coach who's involved in a lot of different things, has a young son, and so he's busy 24/7.
He's not too bad on this play-by-play radio stuff either.
No, Steve does a great job with that too. So we're looking forward now. Now Steve will be doing, it's going to be a combined boys and girls program where Steve will head that up.
Oh, no, there's two separate programs.
Okay,
Mike Fritz is our head girls coach.
Okay.
And Steve is our head boys coach. But they will be pretty much competing at the same events.
And they'll be working together through the staff. Very good, very good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing those spring sports get out there and then get things going.
All right, well, thanks to you guys. And we already got one kid qualified for the districts. Hopefully we can get a few more.
Well, we got Cameron Block coming up here pretty soon. So
yeah, Cameron, Klein had a great match earlier. You know what? Watching him all year, he's got the ability and the talent. He just never had that breakthrough moment. And I saw him wrestle out there this evening, and I saw something out of Klein that I hadn't seen all season long. So I'm excited for him in this tournament.
Right.
You know what? He might be a kid that shocks this place and takes it to another level.
And Vaught was one of the seeded kids. He was if I'm not mistaken, I think he was a 5 seed.
Yeah, Cameron.
And, he was a 5 seed. So that's a great accomplishment.
You got Zach at 160. We got, and you know what? These I tell you what, Thomas Wright, we just watched here. That kid is a senior. Thomas is a freshman. I can guarantee you right now that kid from Madeira don't want to wrestle Thomas again.
No. Where Chuck was commenting how Thomas will be a factor here when he gets in consolations.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if him and Floria don't wrestle back and be contenders. I'm expecting those two kids to wrestle back hard and earn their way to the district.
Be nice to get about 6 or 7 of them down there and keep the wrestling season going another week.
Yep, that's what we're looking for.
Very good.
I'll let you guys get back to work. I'll see if I can maybe send one of my guys up later on get an interview with you, and you guys drill them a little bit. But I appreciate all you're doing, and have fun.
Thanks, Jim. Jim Marsh, the East Clinton Athletic Director, commenting on our wrestling team and the sports programs.
That's right. A big thanks to Jim for joining us. So again, next we've got Cameron Block at 145, and Cameron is wrestling. Let's see, who does? No, take that back. Cameron's not up. He went to the mat, but apparently he's not up quite yet. So,
yeah, Cameron's kind of one of our favorites during the course of the season. He's a guy we refer to as one of our funk wrestlers.
He certainly is that. Yeah, he's non-conventional in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Great summation of that. Cameron's one of those kids that's really got better as the years went on. Great amount of matches. Yeah. That Bridges? I think it's Bridges.
No, that's
Oh, the kid that beat Noah?
might be.
Yeah, Cameron's one of those kids that we just watched him grow as the season went on. He's wrestled 38 matches, which is an extraordinary number of matches
really
at this time. And we've got a pin by the Deer Park wrestler at 138, and I believe we're getting very close to Cameron Block time. Cameron's one of those unusual kids. He gets a little nervous during the day and can't really tell what he's thinking there. But Cameron's got that excitement in him, but he's quietly excited.
Yeah, he plays it pretty close to the vest most of the time. And again, if Cameron does show emotion, he definitely means it, no doubt about it.
Cameron came to me at the end of physical education, and the kids were getting ready to dress, and he said, "Coach, I got 2/10 of a pound to lose. You mind if I run for the last 6 or 7 minutes?" I said, "No, go ahead.
Knock yourself out."
Yeah, and that's the part of wrestling that makes it different than the other sports, is the self-discipline to be able to do that.
That's right, the constant dedication it requires.
Right. And I just received this memo here from Lee Hendry. You may text us with your comments to 937-527-2725. Again, text us with your comments. 937.
Your positive comments.
Yeah, if they're negative, Lee's phone will blow up, and then he'll have to go get a new one. So make sure they're positive comments when you text. And that number is 937-527-2725. And that's Lee's phone, so be kind. And Lee feeds us your information, and if it is noteworthy, we will definitely try to get it on the air. So let us know what your comments are. I know that we've got a lot of grandparents and aunts and uncles. Kids have been excited all week, actually for several weeks, about being on this.
Yeah, they enjoy it.
Just the simple fact that some people that never get to see them or listen to them, they don't know what they're doing in wrestling, are going to get that opportunity tonight.
That's exactly right.
Coach Stalin looks like he's getting ready to take the mat himself there.
Kind of pacing around, waiting, yeah.
Kind of antsy over there.
A caged animal, so to speak.
Yes. And after Cameron Block, we'll be at 152.
Right, and at 152, actually, Urban had a first-round match and got beat, so he won't wrestle this round.
He'll have,
but he will wrestle in the final round of the night.
Yeah, he'll have Billy France from SCDA. I don't
Cincinnati Summit Country Day.
There we go.
Billy looks like has a 19-11 record, so
he must have got knocked off there in that.
I would say so. Looks like he wrestled. Well, he wrestled Austin Seaman from Deer Park, the first seed, and I can tell you from experience, Austin Seaman is one heck of a wrestler.
And he is one of the top wrestlers here today. At the seating meeting, a lot of the coaches had great things to say about that young man.
Let's look here, and Austin was a state qualifier last year, so again, he's going to be the quality of the class of the 152 weight classes.
Right, 30-3. And then as we move through the tournament, we'll see Zach Hrabak, which at that time I'm going to bow out and let Chuck do that. I'll be down there next to Zach's match. A little superstition thing there, Chuck.
That's perfectly understandable.
But
and Zach's going to have, well, we don't know which guy he has. I'm assuming he has Purcell Marion.
Yes,
he
does.
See that first round match.
TJ Burse from Purcell Marion, who just.
Yeah, TJ's the 5 seed. He was the 5th place finisher here last year, and he is 18-4 on the season.
Right, and Zach, he beat Ian Hayes from Cincinnati Country Day by fall at 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, I see that now. Yep.
So we're looking forward to that, and then 170 we will not have anybody. Then we'll jump to 182 where Cameron Klein will take the mat against Greg Abatello from Reading. And as we said, Reading is normally one of the team powers here, so that will be a tough one for Cameron.
Right, Abatello is senior from Reading.
So lots of action to come here from Blanchester. We're looking forward to seeing the East Clinton wrestlers out there displaying their skills here at the Blanchester Sectional.
And looks like we may be coming up here, Bill.
And we've got
Cameron making his way to the mat. Yep, and we are. We're away here, so.
In wrestling, for our fans that have not, if you're watching at home, the wrestlers will come onto the mat. They have to report to the scorer's table, which is on the edge of the mat. They will assign a color to them, red or green, which corresponds with the clock, and that's how the fans can tell who is who. And in this case, obviously, East Clinton being scarlet and gray, we are.
East Clinton in their red singlets are going to be red probably all night tonight.
Yeah, makes it easy for
That's
everybody.
right. So again, Cincinnati Country Day here. You got, find the gentleman's name here.
We have Cameron Block.
Josh Campbell. Joshua Campbell.
Joshua Campbell.
And Joshua's a freshman. He's 17-14 on the year. So, away here. Campbell's got a front headlock out in front, but no takedown.
Tried to throw Cameron right off the back, Chuck.
Yeah,
Cameron resisted
it off. He did.
And we're still 0-0.
So we're back to the middle, and again,
low
nice
single.
Yeah. Again, the opponent with a nice head tap to a low ankle pick, but again, Block to his credit is able to recover and get his hips back, but still no takedown awarded. Block's holding on to the foot out in front. If he holds on to that, he's going to force a stalemate and see if he can do it.
He needs to elevate this, Chuck. If he can stand up and face him,
he might turn it into a takedown.
Well, that's the thing.
And there's the stalemate. So we're going to get a restart here. And again,
he's got to watch out for that low single, though.
That's right.
Cameron can't afford to take any big steps because Campbell will drop right down on it. And just like our Olympic gold medalist, John Smith, who made that famous, can be a very effective move.
Cameron, the slide by, attacks the single leg.
Needs a finish, Chuck.
See if he can turn this into a takedown.
He can pick it up.
And nice job by
Campbell
to get free there.
Campbell did a great Great job fighting off. And so far, we've seen some good defensive wrestling.
Yes,
as well
we have. That's right. So Cameron goes for an ankle pick right off the whistle, and he gets it.
And he's got it, Chuck.
Cameron to his
under
back.
the head, and he's got back fall. This is looking good for Cameron.
Cameron's got it teed up.
If he can settle
rolls, see if he can get all the way through or not.
He needs to get chest to chest.
Cameron puts his chin in his shoulder, brings him back towards the mat. Now, if Cameron can get chest pressure and get on top, he'll be all right here.
I think he's going to let Campbell roll through, and he needs to get off that head, Chuck, or he's going to get in trouble himself.
Campbell turns into a reversal of his own, so just as quickly as Block had control, and there the Block rolls through. No lost control yet. Block spins. Reversal. So in a matter of 15 seconds, we've had six points scored pretty quick. So that's the end of the period.
And if my math's right, it should be 7-2 Block here, I believe.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I mean, we have a takedown. We had a 3-point near fall, and then we had a reversal for Cameron.
Right.
And then a reversal.
Cameron had a reversal of his own. So yep, 7-2. That sounds right to me. Brief break in the action here.
But I don't teach math there, Chuck. So you never know about my cipher in there.
That's right. The Summit Country Day coach here is questioning a call at the table, so we got a momentary break in the action. Looks like they're probably discussing the merits of one of the takedowns or a reversal, I would imagine.
Cameron's jogging in place. He's excited right now.
Yep, keep him moving. And again, a lot of that is mental. You know, Campbell walking around with his hands on his hips, looks tired. Block's bouncing, moving.
Now
and so we're going to have a little bit of discretion in the score. And now we're back at it. So referee flips. Campbell wins the toss and chooses down.
Down.
So,
and again, as we said at our meets this year, the saying is a state champion always takes down because that's the scoring position.
That's right. And so Campbell with a quick sit-out.
He's got a nice arm bar.
Block catches the arm and turns it into a real nice arm bar. You're right, Bill. Let's see if he can do something with it. Now, Campbell, to his credit, keeps moving, but Block attacks the leg and holds him back down. Now, Block likes to cradle in this situation. Let's see if he can get to the side and lock one up.
Nice flurry by Cameron.
Yep. So we're going to restart here. Cameron, one thing I like, too, if you notice there, Coach, he mounted on the opposite side that he did the last time.
Right.
Not letting Campbell get too comfortable.
Right.
So now Cameron with a far side cradle. And Campbell, nice job blocking it off. Now Block goes to the near side cradle. Again, blocked off by Campbell. Campbell gets an escape. So
7-3 here.
7-3, we believe. Both wrestlers on their feet. Block goes down again. Just changing his level, giving Campbell something to think about there. And Campbell now trying to get an angle. Block to the side. Let's see if he can do something.
Oh, nice step through on that.
Yeah, that was nice. Let's see if he can finish it, though. Campbell's got the leg trapped.
Yeah, he does. This could be bad. This could be Campbell's in a scoring, and he does score.
Yeah, and there he gives him the takedown. So I believe that makes it 7-5 here.
And that's kind of where the unorthodox things can backfire on you.
That's right, yep. Sometimes you win by him, sometimes you lose by him, unfortunately. And Block rolls him through. Let's see if he can get a reversal. There it is. The referee gives it to him.
And if he can scoot back on the mat here.
Yeah, Campbell is actually out of bounds right now, and so there's the call. We're going to restart, but again, Block is now back in control. Campbell's slow to get up here, and we're going to run the injury time.
Now, in that situation, Chuck, there would be no back points because the opponent's entirely off the mat as far as scoring the points.
I believe that's correct, right.
Because the official has not signaled any points for Cameron.
Right. So, again, Campbell here being looked at by the training staff and his coaches. Still on his back. Moving around, but still on his back. Block, to his credit, still bouncing, moving, constant motion. And I can tell you that's one thing that Coach Stalin stresses. And, it's a mental thing like we talked about. I'm sure Campbell, every time he looks over, doesn't like to see Block moving and acting like he's not tired.
Right. Because we know that Campbell's tired right now.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I know Block's tired too, but he's not going to show it.
It's the mental thing.
That's right.
And that's the great guys. Dan Gable said, no matter how tired you are, When you're out of bounds, you run back to the middle and show
That's
your
exactly
opponent
right.
that you still got gas in the tank.
That's right. My head coach always stressed that. Get back to the middle. Be the first guy back to the center. And
Kind of try to break the spirit of your opponent.
That's exactly right.
And that's what Cameron's trying to do. He's playing the psychological game. And, right now, Chuck, I've got to question whether Campbell's coming back.
Campbell may not return. That's right. He's been down quite a while.
I think they said he's signaling, 2 minutes of
2 minutes of injury time remaining.
Yeah. Remaining.
Yeah, you know what? We got a second, Coach. What you said reminded me of something I heard Bruce Baumgartner say. Of course, Bruce Baumgartner, for those who don't know, was a world champion and gold medalist for the United States in the heavyweight weight class. And he said, there's a point in every match when one guy gets broken. And both guys know when it is and who it happens to.
Well,
and
guys,
again, that's part of that middle thing.
Have to get ready? Got 5 minutes.
What he gets is he gets a total of 5 minutes of injury time.
Right, and for those of you wondering, I know we just had a question. The injury time is 5 minutes as well as the blood time. So, again, once that time expires, if it does, Campbell would have to forfeit. But again,
He's looking
he
like
looks
he's
pretty
in pain
ginger
here,
right
Chuck.
now. I don't think he's going to return.
No.
Again, can't really tell what's wrong, but just kind of slow to move. And
Joshua Campbell came into this 18 and 14, actually very similar to Cameron's record.
Yep, very, very similar.
And it looks like it's going
so
to
it is going to be it. Cameron's going to get the win by a medical forfeit there. But again, nice effort by both men.
Yeah, that was an entertaining match on both sides.
Yes, it was. Let's hope for his sake that Campbell's able to heal up and maybe wrestle his next match in the consolation bracket. So
it's a shame to see it end that way, but
yeah, you really don't want your season to end that way, do you?
At least an Astro came out victorious, and that we can smile for. And for Joshua Campbell, there'll be many more seasons for him to come.
That's right. Again, only a freshman. So, again, 152 is the next weight class, but again, Charles Erdman won't wrestle this round. He'll wrestle in the consolation, so that means Zach Hrabak will be the next wrestler for East Clinton. Of course, Zach comes into today. Zach has I want to get this right, I don't want to cheat him, Coach. He has an 18-2 record, and Zach is the number 4 seed here today in the 160 weight class. Again, 160, one of the tougher weight classes here. You've got 1, 2, 3 returning district qualifiers and 6 total sectional placers from last year in this weight class. The weight classes ranging from 138 all the way up to 182. So you've got quite an array of guys in this weight class that have proven themselves to be quality wrestlers.
Yeah, it was a tough seeding meeting, to be completely honest. I mean, we came in thinking Zach had a chance to get a little bit higher seed, but we kind of looked at it as Zach is really the X factor here. And Chuck, I'm going to turn this over to you. I'm going to go down and see Zach, and I'll be right back.
All right, Coach. Again, if you're not aware, Zach Hrabak is Coach Bill Hrabak's son, so he's got kind of a vested interest in this match, so he's going to go down and sit mat side for this. So, again, Zach Hrabak getting ready to wrestle here on mat number 2. And, again, Zach has TJ Burse from Purcell Marion. TJ is the 5 seed, comes in with an 18-4 record, and he was the 5th place wrestler at 160 last season. So, again, he was a district alternate, but did not get to wrestle there.
Zach may have a little bit of the element of surprise. He hasn't been out there much this year, and there's not much scouting on him.
Not a lot, that's right. And, one thing, too, Lee, that a lot of these guys from the Cincinnati area or Southern Ohio have seen each other a lot. Zach, the first year down here, and these guys aren't familiar with him. So
no.
Zach with a quick takedown, nice double leg, quick to 2. And, again, riding the hip here. He's under one arm, under the left arm. Wrist control on the right. Again, Burse struggles back to his feet. He's out in front. And it looks like he's going to get one, and he does. So we're now at 2-1. And again, Burse gets wrist control. Zach, nice shot on the outside single. He steps over the ankle. Burse, his credit, hangs on with the Russian, fights it off, so no takedown. We're back on our feet. Zach with an underhook on the right side, shot at the left. Nothing there. We go out of bounds. We're back in the middle. We reset. So again, 1:14, 1:10 to go here. 2-1 Hrabak. And Burris with a shot of his own, shot at the high crotch. Nice sprawl by Hrabak. Hrabak catches the head, circles around, hangs on to the ankle, but Burris on his feet doesn't give up the takedown. And we've got a stoppage there, potentially dangerous. Hrabak had his ankle, and Burris's knee just went a little too far. So no injury there, though. We're going to reset and start over. So they start back on the line. Again, 2-1 here. Hrabak up. And again, both wrestlers feeling each other out, looking for a shot. And now kind of collar tie here. Both wrestlers ear to ear. Now they separate.
So far.
Yes, it has. Yeah. Again, these are both quality wrestlers. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but it definitely shows. And again, Burris with another outside single there. Nice job, lifts the leg. Zach holds on to the head. No takedown, and there it is. So Zach basically had to bail out there and give that up. And Burris now looking for a far side cradle. Zach spinning, trying not to let him lock it up, but Burris has the arm tight. And he just keeps walking. Let's see if Zach can keep spinning. Short time here, and we've got, and there's the period. So again, the period ends 3-2 after that last takedown by Burris from Purcell Marion.
Hey, I know you guys have explained this. The toss there of the ring, what does that determine?
That determines who has the choice, Lee, of going either down, as Burris did, up, which is the position Zach's in, or neutral, where both wrestlers are on their feet. So
okay.
Again, they flip the coin at the end of the first period. Second period gets, obviously the winner has choice, and then the other wrestler gets third period. So there's Zach with a nice double leg.
He's getting a little more aggressive out there right now.
Yes, he is. So that ties it up now. We're at 4-all.
And I'm sure he's trying to get his opponent over on his back.
He sure is, yep. He's got wrist control right now. Lee, you can see there he's under the right arm, and nice job. He walks him over, circles to his head.
He almost had him there for a second.
Yep, and he's going to keep circling to the head, see if he can't get him over, and he does. This could be a fall here, Lee.
Got him.
Definitely got back points. Let's see if he can't finish him off here.
He has control right now.
Oh, without a doubt. And there's the fall. So
there it is.
Zach Hrabak with a fall. 50 seconds into the second period. So
and
Zach
coming out
on.
aggressive in that the second round paid dividends because he got control and was able to get his man rolled over and pinned.
Yes, he did. And with that win, Zach's guaranteed to place at this tournament. But again, only the top four are guaranteed to move on. So he'll need to win a few more matches to secure his spot, but he does move on into the semifinals. So again, Zach wins his first match tomorrow. He'll be wrestling for first and second. So congratulations. Yep, congratulations, Zach. Sure was.
And for Zach, who hasn't been out there much, but he's still, his wrestling experience really paid off there.
Yeah, that's right. He had a lot of years of wrestling experience coming into East Clinton from his previous schools up north.
Yeah.
So again, our next wrestler for East Clinton won't be until 182, where we've got Cameron Klein. And again, he'll be wrestling Abatello of Reading.
Well, it's great to have you and Coach Hrabak here tonight. It's really a big event, and it's only hopefully getting better for East Clinton.
Oh, I agree 100%, Lee. We really appreciate the opportunity to do this and get to spread wrestling around a little bit to people, and hopefully expose some new people to it and get some new fans out there.
Unfortunately, we aren't allowed by the state to do live video or even recorded video, but you can get the gist of it between you and Coach Hrabak of what's going on out there.
I hope so.
And speaking of Coach Hrabak, I think he is returning.
Yeah, there's the proud papa right there.
Let's get him in here in the middle.
Not sure we can fit him in here with that big head he's got right now, but
come on in here, Coach.
We're grinning from ear to ear.
Well,
and we were talking Zach's aggressiveness in that second round made a big difference. He came out more aggressive and on the attack.
Yeah, I don't know. He seemed kind of out of sorts there the first period. He had some good shots, just didn't finish them.
Right.
And then in Zach's game, he loves arm bars, and if he can get an arm bar on somebody, he's usually got a good chance to finish things. And
boy, and he sure did too, Coach.
Yeah.
Nice arm bar and a nice finish with it there.
Yeah, his brother, who took 6th in the state, was big on the single arm bar, the double arm bar, and he used to experiment with Zach on that. So Zach learned it well in the bedroom as broke a number of beds in the process.
So.
You better behave yourself because your wife is on her way to check on you there.
Well, maybe we'll get her on the radio.
There you go. That'd be great.
What's that? Would you like to get on the radio? And this is my better half.
I think you saved yourself there, Coach.
Yeah. I thought
Valentine's Day, you don't want to get her too upset. So
I thought we were going to get a candid opinion here, but I guess not.
I think you just got it.
Yes,
when
we
she
did.
turned and walked away. I think that was your candid opinion.
I will on the way.
Probably
home,
better off the air. That's right.
I'll just remind her it's snowing outside, and I got to concentrate on the road.
Yeah, good luck with that, Coach.
Many a guys went down that road and has not won.
And they all paid for it.
Yeah. So we have Cameron Klein coming up next.
That's right. He'll be up at 182.
Yep.
And again, Klein, like we talked about, has Abatello of Reading. And Abatello, like we said, has a 13-11 record on the year. He's a senior.
So very similar to what Cameron's now 10-11,
right?
And Abatello is 13-11. So
that's right. So it should be a good match for Cameron. See what he can do.
Good matchup there. Consolations, I think what Coach Stalen was saying is that we are looking at, I believe, only one match in the consolation
because
round.
of the various buys throughout the tournament. Yeah.
Now that would be Charlie Erdman.
Okay.
So we will probably be rapidly moving towards the end of this here as we wind up this round and then get into the consolation round. Doesn't look like there'll be more than a handful of matches there.
Yeah, that's right. There usually aren't very many matches in that first round of consolations, like we said, because of the multiple buys that existed in the first round. So.
Right. We'll have a number of matches here before Cameron, I believe. Although I don't know. Oh well, Cameron's got his gear on, so
he's in the warm-up area, but still has his warm-ups on. So
yeah, not that close, but he's
right.
He is in that area.
Although the wrestlers are getting bigger, so we're getting closer to Cameron.
What's that, Chuck?
I said the wrestlers are getting bigger, so we're getting closer to him.
Yeah. Again, we've got. If you'd like the text, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, send us your comments to 937-527-2725.
And, tell Chuck and I what you think and help us. So, we're rookies at this.
That's right. Help us, help you.
Yes, help us, help you. A little Jerry Maguire there. And see if we can come out and tell you and educate you a little bit more about the game of wrestling.
That's right. Also, too, while we got a second, I want to give a shout-out to Charlie's Place in Sabina. Great local pizza place, if you're not familiar with it. One of our sponsors here. They give us a lot of love. Also, MC Auto and Melvin Liquid Fertilizer as well. A couple other local businesses that we're more than proud to have be a part of the East Clinton Radio Network here. So welcome to those guys, and thanks for your support.
And remember, if anybody out there, any alumni or anyone that has an interest in the East Clinton athletic program, please contact Jim Marsh, our athletic director, who we spoke to a little while ago, at 937-584-7450. It takes people to make the athletic program go, and we welcome any support that we can get. Monetary is always nice, but just come out and help. We're always looking for people to help at events.
That's right. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of people to put on these kind of activities.
Also, Thursday nights at Charlie's Place, we have the East Clinton Sports Program, hosted by Jeremy Yankee and Lee Hendry, and a number of the East Clinton. I'm screwed that one up.
You're right there, Coach.
East Clinton coaches. We'll back that up there, and we get our athletes on there, Chuck, and we have a chance to talk with them and give them a little exposure.
That's right. It's a lot of fun for the kids, and and again, a lot of good sports talk and topics you'd like to see discussed on there. I'm sure you could text those along to Lee again at 937-527-2725.
Yep. So we should be getting ready to see Cameron Klein come on here at 182 pretty soon, and we've got Rick here messing around with the computer. And Rick, how's things going tonight?
I'm just getting ready to pull up some stats and see what we've got going as far as page views.
Okay, that's the great thing about the internet TV is unlike network TV or cable TV when they have to wait for Arbitron or one of the polling companies to come out with their ratings. Lee and Rick can tell us right away how many viewers we have here.
Whether we want to know or not.
Whether we want to know or not. We'll find out if we've got a job next week. 210.
All right. Well, those 210 people out there, we appreciate your support. And
you
again,
guys
if you
are
have
probably
comments or things, feel free to pass them along. Sorry,
smarter than us because we're out here in the snowstorm and
That's
you're
right.
not.
You're home warm, probably listening.
So one of the things, if somebody out there doesn't know much about high school wrestling, maybe at some point the two of you could go out and just demonstrate it for them and go live on the scene. Now that would be a pay-per-view.
That would be something. Like you said, unfortunately, we're not on film today, so
steel cage
That's not
match.
going to happen. But
I think you bring up a good point, Lee, and I think maybe something that would be a good thing that we could look at for next season is possibly incorporating some film clips where we talk about what a particular move is,
right,
so people can get a better understanding of what they're seeing.
That's right. And again, if we say something you don't understand or something you want a deeper explanation of, feel free to text those comments along, and we'll do our best to answer them here on the air.
Wrestling, like any sport, terminology is pretty much regional.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
And what they call in Iowa may not be the same move that we call it here in Ohio.
That's right. Or what they call it in Cleveland may not be what they call it in Cincinnati.
Exactly. And so sometimes I may refer to something as a gable, which was made famous by the wrestler Dan Gable.
Right.
Yet what we're talking about is an arm bar.
Right.
And made famous by Dan Gable. The low single, we may talk about.
Ankle pick or low single or the same move, but again, different terminology, different name.
Right. So, ask us questions. We'll try to answer them the best we can. And if we can't do it, we'll get Coach Stalen on sometime, and maybe you can call in and ask Coach Stalen about those things.
That's right.
We'll get him out there. Of course, we got Mike Fritz too, and Mark Scovaner round out the coaching staff down there. Mark's the guy that he's got a beard. He's got as much of a beard as he does hair.
Well, let's not hold that against you, Coach.
And he's the resident comedian on the coaching staff.
And, of course, the Astros also joined tonight by junior high head coach Andrew Ramsey. So nice to see Coach Ramsey out supporting the program and his young men. I know he likes to get out every chance he can. Now, see the high school guys that some of them he helped pass along. So.
Did Coach Ramsey coach some of these kids?
Yep, he coached the freshmen this year, Thomas Wright, Noah Morgan. He also coached the sophomores. He had Thomas Floria as an 8th grader. And
Cameron Block.
Cameron Block as well, that's right. Yep. So, it's neat as a junior high coach, I'm sure, to be able to see those guys moving on up and
progress.
Again, beginning to make a name for themselves in high school wrestling.
Right. Well, we are...
so, again, for those of you new to wrestling, you're experiencing one of the... I don't know if I want to say one of the drawbacks or maybe one of the potential negatives is that sometimes at a tournament like this, you can wait a long time between your matches, and we are experiencing that tonight. Waiting for the East Clinton wrestlers to come around. But again, we're trying to bring you all the East Clinton matches live as they occur, and again, we're waiting for Cameron Klein up next at 182.
And hopefully, maybe tomorrow, if we can steal Jim Vest for a few comments. I believe Jim's got maybe 4 kids on the junior high or the Biddy wrestling program that are going to what they call the OACs. And
that's great.
That is the junior high state championships.
Right. Well, grade school and junior high.
Grade school and
yep. Again, not officially sanctioned by the Ohio High School Athletic Association, but again, a great group of volunteers that put on a great tournament every year, and really, that's a true labor of love, Coach. You want to talk about there because they're not making money off that state tournament.
No,
it all goes back into it, and
it has been a benefit, I think, Chuck, over the years, though, as we see a 9th grader who has no criteria coming into a tournament. They're now starting to recognize the Ohio Junior High State Champion as something that you can bring up, and I guess the jury's still out on that, whether that's a good or bad thing.
Right, and of course, there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, can you call it a true state champion when, not everyone competes, and you have to choose to go, and there's a lot of different questions and, like I said, arguments about it both ways. But again, no doubt that that's definitely a quality tournament with quality opponents.
Right.
And in fact, some argue that it's even tougher because Ohio is divided up into 3 divisions,
and that's a one division.
There's no divisions there. That's right. You could have a kid from the biggest school in Ohio wrestle a kid from the smallest school in Ohio, and the best kid's going to win.
Many years ago, when my son Zach was in there, he wrestled Nick Zavarda, who at that time was at Cincinnati Moeller.
Right.
And so the chances of Zach ever wrestling him in a regular situation would be very unlikely.
Most likely never happen, right?
But in junior high, as Chuck alluded to, this is a all-division tournament, so Division I kids wrestle Division III kids, so on and so forth. Now, an interesting side note on that, we talked about the Monroeville kids.
Right.
They all technically were 7-time state champs.
That's right.
Because they won the junior high 6th, 7th, and 8th grade state championships.
That's right.
Also. So you want to talk about an amazing feat there.
Quite a run by those young men, no doubt about it.
Yeah, all of them are still wrestling, as Chuck said, all for the Buckeyes, with the exception of Chris Phillips, who we're not quite sure where Chris Phillips is right now.
Right.
But a phenomenal group of young men there.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I used to joke around, Chuck, about Monroeville's coach. I said, after you have four-time state champs, you win the state team championship.
What's left, right?
Yeah, and sure enough, he retired after that.
Yes, he did, yeah. Pretty quickly, as a matter of fact. But,
it's not going to get any better than that.
That's right, yeah. I don't know how you top that. That's right.
It would be the equivalent to winning 4 Super Bowls, and,
That's right, yeah. You're never going to top it.
Yeah, just walk away.
That's right.
Yeah, it looks like Cameron Klein is getting ready to take the match.
Mat 3.
And it's going to be in our bad
That's right, the bad vantage point. So.
Cameron has Greg Abatello from Reading.
Yep, Reading.
Giving them an eye shot here. They seem to be about similar size.
Yeah, I think Abatello is a little taller and maybe a little thinner.
Yeah.
Cameron a little thicker. So, again, that may play into Cameron's advantage, like we said, because if he's able to keep low and keep those bigger hips down, he could be to the advantage. So,
and they're both tied up on the head.
Big tie up here, not uncommon for these big guys. Cameron on the arm early, but Aiello goes for the head.
Cameron can sit this. He's going to be
out. He does. So, takedown 2-0 Cameron early here in the match.
And that was a nice slip by Cameron on that head and arm.
Yeah, that was a nice job. So Cameron here looks like he's trying to get the wrist control and come through the crotch, maybe to lock it up for a tilt. Again, Aiello fighting him off hard. Aiello finally back up into her base. Cameron's got wrist control.
And he tried to tilt.
Tried to lock it up into a tilt, see if he can hold it. He rolled Aiello all the way through, so no back points awarded.
Yeah, Abatello's...
Abatello, excuse me.
It's just kind of laying on his hip right here.
Yeah, not a lot of action out of the bottom. I think he's content just not to be scored on.
Yeah.
rather than try to score on his own.
And, you know,
Cameron in with a half, trying to come out to the side. Half on the left side. Again, now that's out. Trying to get wrist control. Again, Cameron doing a good job keeping the pressure on his toes, making the Reading wrestler carry the weight of both wrestlers.
And the big thing here is getting through this period. If he can maintain that 2-0 lead, that's big coming into the second
That'll
period.
be huge, that's right. So, again, Cameron hanging on the hip. Aiello to his feet now. Turns in. Cameron's got to bring him back to the mat.
Nice.
He does.
Good
Lifts
dump.
him up, brings
Good
him
dump.
back down to the mat.
And he's trying to get the half again there, Chuck. And he's
so
got
Cameron's got the half. Let's see if he can put this away. Short time, less than 10 seconds.
This could be bad for Abatello.
Yeah, Abatello definitely giving up 3 back points here, if not the fall. We've got 10 seconds to go. This could be a long time for Cameron to fight off his back.
Cameron's got to get a little more chest to chest.
Yes, he does. And maybe get that lift on his arm so the shoulders go down.
Wow.
And
Very
time
close.
expires.
Very
So,
close.
wow, really close to a fall, but he doesn't quite get it. So
5-0.
5-0. That's right. Takedown and 3-point near fall. So referee flips the coin. Reading's choice. He defers. Cameron's going to choose down. So again, 5-0 Klein here to start the second period. Klein in the down position.
And if Cameron can manage to get out of this.
There's the whistle. Cameron with a quick stand-up. Nice job.
Yeah.
Runs him out of bounds. So, you know, again, Reading has to be careful with that. That could be a stalling call.
Running
and
him
again, he makes the decision. He doesn't want to risk it, so he lets him up, gives him the escape. So we're going to start neutral now on the restart. So again, Cameron ties up, slaps at the leg. Let's see if he's going to take a real shot at it.
Abatello's got an over
Front
under.
headlock again, but that didn't work out well last time.
Oh, nice job by
gets
Cameron.
the angle, body lock, drags him down. Really almost a football tackle there, Coach.
Yeah.
Not a lot of technique, just leverage.
Went into a little short rib, sucked it in, and dumped him.
Yep, had the angle and just used it. So again, Abatello trying basically to work out of bounds, and he's able to. Klein looked like he was working the cradle, but couldn't get it locked up before Abatello squirmed out of bounds.
Yeah,
So,
Abatello's got an uphill battle right now.
yes, he does. He's down 8-0 here, and we're just 30 seconds into the second period. So again, Abatello's going to start down. Klein gets a signal. He mounts, blows the whistle, near arm
nice.
chop.
Captured the elbow right off the break.
Chop the arm and capture the elbow, brings him back to the mat.
Looking for a butcher.
Hard to run that on the mat, but I'll get wrist control here maybe. And Aiello swims out. We have to start over. Abatello, swims out. We start over.
He's got some shoulder pressures.
Block coming, or
Doing
Klein,
a relatively a good job staying off his knees.
Yes, he is. Like I said, he's making the wrestler carry up both their weights. So again, Klein here riding the hip. He's got the wrist control on one arm. Now Abatello stands up. Let's see if he can get away and cut it. Cameron trying to keep his hips as close to him as he can to prevent it. Pulls him back down to the mat. This is going to be real close to a stalling call. And there it is. Abatello gets the escape. So we're at 9-1 here.
Not a real damaging thing there.
That's right. That was probably the best decision because he was in real risk of giving up stalling.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we're at 8-1 now. 20 seconds to go.
Now, if he can get the front headlock,
Abatello takes a shot. Cameron with a front headlock with a spin. Another takedown by Block and Klein. Too many Camerons on this team, Coach. So now we're at 10-1. And he's just going to ride him out here. We're under 10 seconds to go. He's on the hip.
Smart move.
He's going to stay right there. That's right. So we're going to end up 10-0. It's going to be Abatello's choice going into the third. And like we said, he's going to choose neutral.
Abatello's going to want to go down in this
No, because he hasn't been able to do much, and he chooses neutral. So we're going to start on our feet.
His best chance would be to get a throw here.
That's right.
And I think that Cameron's got to be real careful getting himself
Yes,
locked
he does.
into
And we've
that.
already shown that Cameron, again, is a tough one to throw because of his body type. So, yeah, this really is an uphill battle for Abatello at this point.
He's got the underhook.
Yep, he's going for the head and arm, it looks like, Coach. He's trying to set it up. I think Cameron knows it's coming, too.
Cameron's whizzing hard on that arm and keeping.
Yeah, Abatello's about got it locked, though, but now Cameron swims out a little bit. So now both wrestlers separate.
And we got 30 seconds gone in the period. Oh, nice deep
shot by Cameron. He finishes it. Nice double leg takedown.
There we go. If he can climb the
Abatello
body
to his
here.
butt. He's got to be careful not to go to his back here. He's got to belly down. And we've got locking hands there. So it looks like Cameron held on a little too long after the takedown.
That's too bad. I thought we might have been getting close to a tech fall situation.
And we are pretty close. It's 10 points right now, 12-10. And again, Abadella's going to be down here. Klein's going to mount. Here. Yes, he does. So Klein mounts on Abadella's right side. Had a little quick sit out, but he stops. Now pressure's back into a stand-up. Klein elevates him.
Suplex.
And that's going to be an illegal slam. Klein picked him straight up and brought him back over. Almost a WWF-style suplex there, belly-to-back suplex.
And he's got to watch this now.
Yeah, now again, this is a situation where if Abadella could not return, that would be a forfeit on Cameron's part.
Right.
So,
and then we've
that's the difference between if it would have been an illegal slam or just an injury from a slam.
Exactly.
But again, because it was called illegal, or because, again, I guess
Abatello looks all right though at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, we've seen at state and we've seen in some districts.
Well, Coach, I would never say that a kid ever didn't wrestle when they could have, but it's certainly been accused of several times where a coach might have told their kid, "You're not going to continue this match."
And almost cost the kid a state championship in one situation.
That's right. Yes, it did.
So looks like Abatello is all right.
No risk of that here. Abatello wants to continue, and he's going to be down though, and again blocks up 9 points, 12-3. Klein, 12-3. 1:10 to go in the period.
Chuck, I think he rides him for tries to ride him for the right here and kick him out.
Yep, that's all he wants to do here. And he's got the leg in, trying to go for a tilt here. He's got around the arm, around the chin, excuse me.
And he is
again going to continue to ride the hip. Yeah, he was giving him the business, so to speak. Again, Klein with a half Nelson on the right side. Aiello blocks it, fights it off. Abadello fights it off.
Down to
now
40
going
seconds.
for the arm bar. Let's see if he can get it out. And again, time slipping away here. Less than 30 seconds to go in the period. Again, Klein with a comfortable lead. Needs
under
to play
30
it
seconds.
safe here. And again, he's not really showing much fire. Just happy to ride him out here. And there's a stalling call.
And we knew that was going to be coming.
Yeah, and really with 18 seconds, Cameron probably should. He's going to do an optional start and probably kick him here.
And that's a smart move.
It really is, and that is what he's going to do. He's going to go neutral, give him the automatic escape. And really 18 seconds here, that is a smart move, Coach. You're right.
Now you
just ride it out and make sure you don't get thrown. That's right.
And he's doing a good job tying that up.
Yep. And again, Abadell, like we said, we know he wants to go that head and arm, but Cameron knows that too, and he's blocking it off.
And this is a win.
So now we've got another stalling call on Klein.
But that is the match.
Really doesn't matter because that's the match. 12-5, Klein with a win. So nice win by Cameron Klein to advance into the semifinals. So again, Cameron comes in as an unseeded wrestler, with an under 500 record. And right now, Coach, he's wins one more match and he's going for first and second.
Yes,
so
he is. And
quite a performance.
And Abatello, as we talked about, had a very similar record coming into this.
That's right.
But really dominated from start to end.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then we've got one of our young men here, Zach Hrabak, who picked up a victory by pin. Zach,
nice aggressive win.
Second.
Have a seat there, young man.
So what was your approach to today's match, Zach, after being out for several weeks here and just getting back on the mat last week?
Just take it easy, step by step. Don't waste too much energy in first period. Try and take the guy down, and just happen to get lucky and get him pinned. I guess. I mean, just went with the flow.
Coach Hale and I were talking about your use of the arm bar and that, and I had related to him how you and your brother used to use the arm bars on each other quite a bit. So would you say that's one of your main weapons?
Definitely when I'm on top. I mean, I think it's the most effective way to pin people, so I like to do it.
Okay. Next match, you have Ray Day from Reading. Do you know much about him?
Not too worried.
Okay. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we will see you tomorrow there in the semifinals.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so big thanks to Zach Hrabak for joining us here. And again, that concludes the second round for East Clinton. We're now waiting for the consolation round. That'll be the final round this evening. And again, that will be wrestlers that have lost in either of these previous two rounds. And again, this is a double elimination tournament, so these next matches, these wrestlers will be wrestling for their season. So they lose the next round, their season is over. So should see some competitive matches here in this next upcoming round. And again, it was relayed to us that our only match for round 3 today will be Chuck Urban at 152. And of course, Chuck wrestled Andre Wright in the first round. Andre, of course, is from Hillcrest Academy. And Andre is going to go on to wrestle Austin Seaman of Deer Park. And Chuck is going to wrestle, I believe, did we know who Urban's opponent's going to be?
I do not know. Well, I might have the updated ones here. Well, I am not.
I don't have 152. Okay, that's
152 right here. But I think we have it here, Chuck. I think one of these is the updated version. Those up there might.
Those are the ones where we don't have anybody.
Okay. So
again, we apologize, trying to keep track of all these weight classes and wrestlers.
For those who don't know wrestling or been here, the bracket sheets basically are updated by rounds, and we're kind of handicapped unless we're able to get that bracket sheet from the tournament directors, because we're not really sure who's wrestling who until we see that
right.
sheet.
Yeah, we're not able to follow every match, so we don't know the results. But again, we do know that Urban will be wrestling somebody here in the in the round. So let's do a little backtracking, see if we can't figure it out. Well, it looks like he may have Billy France from Summit Country Day Academy.
I believe you're right. That's who we had on the other sheet.
Okay, so it is Billy France from Summit Country Day. And let's take a quick look at Billy here. And looks like Billy is a senior, and he's 19-11 on the season.
Yeah.
So, a decent record, but again, was not a placer here last year. So
no,
we don't have much more to go on.
Lee's going to cut in here and pay a few bills.
All right, thank you, guys. We want to thank our sponsors tonight. Of course, Charlie's Place in Sabina, the home of the East Clinton Sports Show, MC Auto in Sabina, and of course Melvin Liquid Fertilizer, and also our friends at Rent to Own in Wilmington. If you're sitting at home listening and you want to get some great food, check out the folks at Charlie's Place. Give them a call, 937-584-9632. You can pick it up, drive through, or they will deliver. 584-9632 or 584-9634. The home of the Astro Burger and so many more great things. Also, Melvin Liquid Fertilizer, 6704 East Route 622. Wilmington, actually, it's in Melvin, Ohio. Call my buddy Paul Ayers, 937-584-2451 for all your agricultural crop needs. And don't forget to see the folks at MC Auto in 11 East Washington Street, Sabina, Ohio, 45164. And they're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. If you're looking for a great vehicle, stop by at MC Auto and stop by and visit the folks at Rent to Own in Wilmington, Ohio. And they've got some, just about any household item you would need at Rent to Own. Call my man Randy Potts, or you can call for the store nearest you 866-OK2-RENT. And that's rent owed. All right, guys. And Chuck, how are we looking so far, my man?
We're going great. Again, we're just waiting for the championship round here to finish up, the second round of championship bracket, so we can move on into the first round of consolations. So, again, moving pretty well.
He's already done the warming up.
And again, probably won't be a whole lot longer because of the just the sheer number of matches here in these rounds. And again, while we're waiting, just want to pass along. I hope everyone is having a safe, warm, dry evening. I know we've had quite a bit of snow in the area, and have to admit I'm not looking forward to that drive home tonight.
Okay, good deal.
But again, we're going to continue to bring you the action here until we're done. So,
and we are moving into the latter part of the second round of the winners bracket, and we will be starting a very abbreviated version of the consolation.
That's an excellent way to put it, a very abbreviated version.
When you see the 152 warming up, you know that there's
That's
not
right.
going to be a lot of matches.
That's right. And again, while we've got a moment too, I want to say, I want to ask everyone to join us again tomorrow, starting around 10 o'clock. We'll begin with the second day of the sectional tournament, continuing all the way through to the finals that are scheduled to start tomorrow around 5 o'clock. So we should have a full day of coverage here on GTVR. So
And
hope if you can't join us here at Blanchester, you'll join us on the air.
And we're advancing everybody to tomorrow at this point.
Yeah, that's great. Every wrestler from East Clinton will wrestle tomorrow. That's right.
So if you didn't get a chance, if you know somebody that wanted to listen to it and couldn't listen to it tonight, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we will be back here. And again, all our kids will still have a match. So come on, turn it on, get a cup of Joe, sit down and listen to the little wrestling, and we'll be here talking some more nonsense to you guys out there. And as we said, we have 210 people that have tuned in to us, and that's an amazing number there.
Yeah, it sure is. That's exciting. That's really exciting.
And this is a new venture for East Clinton. We'd like to thank Lee Hendry and Rick Phillips for putting this together. It's a vision they've had for internet television. I had the pleasure of working with those guys during the football playoffs, and now we've moved into basketball and wrestling. And Rick, you want to talk a little bit about some future plans here?
Well, what we'd like to see is perhaps getting Wi-Fi enabled out to the press box there at East Clinton, so that we can do both track and field as far as those events, as well as baseball and my favorite, tennis.
So we're looking at some more sports coverage through the spring. Now, as you go through the summer and that, do you guys have something planned there for the summer as far as some events you're going to cover?
I'll let Lee speak to that. He's the big plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lee.
and we will be looking forward to continuing the East Clinton Sports Show all through the summer as some past athletes and future athletes, and have a lot of memories and a lot of fun through the summer. So
very good.
We'll be right there eating at Charlie's every Thursday night.
Charlie's Place in Sabina.
And Chuck gets a big smile every time I say that.
I love that place. I do.
Yeah, boy.
Chuck was in the burger eating contest. He's in the Hall of Fame there now.
Yeah.
I don't know about
He
fame.
continued my losing streak, by the way. Sorry about that, Chuck. I
don't even know what to say to that, guys. All right, so here we go.
Charlie Erdman.
We promised you a short round, and there it is. So 152, Charles Erdman right here. And again, now Charles, again, will be wrestling for his season, basically. Essentially, if he loses, his season is over. So, again, this being the first round of consolation, Charles lost the first round, and he needs to win here to continue on to tomorrow. So, both wrestlers kind of circling each other, not really a lot of action. Charles takes a shot there, no setup, so.
And he got put in
locks him up into
right
a
to his
cradle.
back.
Yeah, that's not good. Charles, things aren't looking good for Charles right now.
And it's just
Billy France again, and unfortunately there's the fall. So hate for Charles' season to end, but unfortunately, Coach, as you know, there's only one wrestler in Division III at 152 whose season will end with a win.
That's true.
And unfortunately, it's not going to be Chuck, but again, only a sophomore, showing a lot of promise, and I know Coach Salem is excited about him coming back next year.
Yeah, Chuck had no wins last year.
That's right.
And he won 12 matches this year.
That's right. That's a huge improvement. And again, he got a lot of mat time this year. He wrestled a total of almost 40 matches. So, that's great for him, and just going to continue his success on into next year. So, and Coach, I know you're excited about Charles coming back for football next year as well.
I am. We're looking at him on offense as possibly filling one of our line positions. Now, he's 152 pounds. He's a little bit bigger during football, in that 170, 180 range. And what I'd like to maybe illustrate to some of our athletes and listeners is one of the great improvements for Charlie during the summer was his dedication to the weight room.
That really pays off, doesn't it?
Yes.
It really does.
And I think we saw in football, he contributed on varsity as a sophomore. He got some special team time. Got in, was one of our number one backups, and now we saw in wrestling he goes from 0 wins to 12 wins.
Right.
And if he continues to work hard in the weight room, as all our athletes need to do.
And it's exciting when they can see the results like that, and I know he has. He's seen the results, so I'm sure he's excited to get back at it after taking a short break, and he'll be right back at it.
Yep. Good enough. Well,
so, Coach, that concludes our wrestling coverage tonight. All our wrestlers have wrestled again. Everyone, again, with the exception of Chuck, will be back wrestling tomorrow.
And we're going to turn this over to Lee again, but as always, Astros keep on reaching for the stars.
Absolutely.
And good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, thanks, guys. And it's been a great pleasure to be here at Blanchester High School for this sectional wrestling event. Many teams here and great competition. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors, Charlie's Place in Sabina, MC Auto in Sabina, and Melvin Liquid Fertilizer, as well as Rent to Own in Wilmington. And we'll be back tomorrow with more exciting coverage here in the state sectional wrestling tournament, high school wrestling tournament, and hopefully the weather will be a little better, Rick Phillips.
Well, I hope so as well. It was a little scary riding down here with you, Lee, especially when you went off the road a couple times.
Well, that flip in the middle of the road was a little hairy, but we made it. We landed on our tires.
But was that little old lady okay?
Yeah.
Evil Knievel's got nothing on
No. I like to keep things interesting. Once again, Coach, run down some of the teams that are here besides East Clinton. I mean, there's a ton of teams. Chuck's probably got that put away, but
what we've got is we have the host, Blanchester, here, Bethel Tate, Cincinnati Country Day School, Cincinnati Hills Christian, Claremont Northeast, Deer Park, East Clinton, Hillcrest Academy out of Cincinnati, Lackland, Madera, Marymount, North College Hill, Purcell Marion, Roger Bacon, Reading, Summit Country Day, and then we have Williamsburg to wrap it up.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our coverage tonight, Rick, and we once again want to thank Coach Hrabak and Chuck Hale for providing the commentary.
I guess so. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.